You're in the right place. Online, on the web, and on air. All over the world.
Talk radio.
You hear us, we hear you.
You hear us, we hear you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. At last, we just had a bit of a problem with the old internet lead. I think I've sorted that out. Hopefully, you're not getting any. Hopefully, you're not getting any feedback or anything. So. No.
No, you was, but it's coming to us.
Right, okay, let me just make sure this is working fine. Otherwise, we will have problems. Okay, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a hiccup there. So,
It's linking to, I don't know, but you haven't booked chat room up.
Right, 2 seconds, guys. It's a bit of a...
Go back to the other one.
God,
Go back to the show page.
It's one of them nights. One of them crazy nights. Woo! So, good evening. Welcome to the show. We are getting there slowly.
And we got lots of new listeners. Lots of new listeners.
Sorry about the delayed start.
I think most of them are down. And Nicky's been sitting there texting for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
it. We're
Just trying to find my mouse.
On radio.
So, okay.
Well, while you're doing that, let's go through a few of these that we've got in there. We have, let's go right to the top. Because, there we go. Start from the top. We have Doc Savage all the way from Minnesota. We have Andy 707, who, by the way, is at the bingo.
Is he?
He's at a bingo, he says.
Oh, right. Okay.
We have Ghost Rider, who's our John, who was normally in Norwich, but today he's upstairs in our back room.
Yes.
And we have Big Boy. I think Big Boy is one of Nick's friends.
I hope so. We've also got Mesh.
Jonesy,
yeah. Peter from Birmingham. Hi, Pete. Nice to see you again. So, who else have we got? We've got quite a few names in there at the moment and some new ones. Sorry about the problem. We've got Carlos 22876. So, and Neil Munnelly. Neil Munnelly is there.
he was supposed to be joining us tonight.
He was,
but
got on
he
late.
didn't get home from work till 8 o'clock. So there you go.
So, but thank you for joining us, guys. We've got 18 viewers tonight, and we've had a bit of a hectic week, haven't we, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the process of trying to move, so we're starting to pack up, bit by bit, aren't we?
Yes, we've got 3 big, large plastic
containers
of just DVDs.
We've started on the DVDs.
And we're in the process of getting them all onto my computer, onto a hard drive. So then we can just storm away somewhere.
Yes, definitely.
Get them out of the way.
So
we've been busy.
Yeah. So
and in the meantime, we made a trip down to Norwich as well.
Yes, to bring Anne John up, and just to let you know what's going on tonight. It's going to be a little bit crazy tonight. You're going to be seeing people wandering about. If you remember rightly, a few weeks ago we mentioned that we were getting filmed for a couple of lads at Livestock Productions from up there in Tameside, not very far away, and just about 6 miles away from us at the moment. And we've asked them to come in to find out what the hell they're doing, and to let you know what they're doing with us, and also what they found in the meantime, because they've been having a few other things happening as well.
Turn the tables.
Yeah, we're going to turn the tables on them, aren't we?
We're going to interview them, interviewing us at the same time.
Yeah, we've got a lot of these new people. They're into some new stuff as well, aren't they? We've got what's the Simon Weston thing then? I don't know what that's all about.
No, we didn't go on about that. Somebody asked about Area 51.
Right, okay, and, yeah.
UFOs. Somebody wanted to know if we're going to be talking to ghosts tonight.
Oh, I don't know.
Not in the house.
Not in the house. We don't bring it home.
Not in our house. We do have a couple that visit, but
yeah, we've got a new dog that we got from the RSPCA, and after the second night of having her, she was sat on the edge of the couch barking at the kitchen doorway, which is where Roxy seems to see a lot of things as well, our little dog. So that was a bit of confirmation for us, wasn't it? It was just no reason to just sat here barking at the door. So that was all good fun.
she's definitely seeing
Oh,
somebody.
God. 2 seconds, Steve. Live stream's gone down.
Don't worry, just
Oh, dearie me. I don't know what it is these days. If it ain't live stream, it's blooming Google. And it's Google again. Oh, God. So,
go on, she says.
yeah, Google messing up again. They've been doing this for ages now. I don't know what's up with it. Oh. We're recording still, but we're not on air up there. So,
Google's just done one.
damn God. I seem to have problems with Google of late. I don't know what it. Yeah, Google Chrome. It can't even find its own search bar sometimes. It's just ridiculous. Where are we? Live stream. You know what I mean? It's just mad. I don't know what it is with Google. I don't know whether I've been having this problem for weeks, and I've noticed it's not just me because we were down in Norwich, and I was on John's computer. What? What?
Carlos was just saying, has anybody seen the orb that was circling over the head of the guy with glasses? So that would be you, Nick.
Oh.
And he said, how weird. He just mentioned that and the internet went.
Mm. Tell them that we are still online. It's just that Google can't find the program. It's just. I don't think I've got. No, it won't even do it on Safari. That's what I can't understand. Thank you. I'm not having a good night tonight. You know, we were working over. Yeah, I'm back now. We were working over the throughout the night, and oh God, it was back. Oh, don't be a bugger to me.
I think a lot of it is with Google at the moment.
I think it's high traffic.
We haven't got that much traffic there.
No, not us in general.
Yeah, you got that as well, but also they're changing over from iGoogle, aren't they? They're getting rid of that. They're changing everything.
I'm back again. 15 viewers. Come on. Right, we're back on air. Sorry about that. We've been having problems with Google Chrome of late, not just on this website, but on quite a few. It can't even find its search bar half the time. I don't know what the problem of it is, so perhaps somebody out there might be able to know. If you might know about what's going on. If we do go down again, please don't worry. We will come back on. We'll be back on as quick as possible. But as I say, it is a Google thing or a live stream thing. If you lose us, just refresh the page and hopefully you won't have Google problems. Yeah, I know Google Chrome's crap. It is of late.
Problem is, so is everything else.
Yeah. So as I said, for those of you just joined us, we have got the boys in the hub with us tonight. Later on, we've got Alison Wynne-Ryder. She'll be doing a reading for Nick and anybody else who wants to ring up and give us a call. We've got Neil on the line later on because he was late. He's going to be doing a phone call and be part of the show as well.
And Carlos, just for you, the guy with the glasses that the Oprah's circling over, that's Nick.
Who's Carlos if he's not one of your friends? Oh, well, it's nice to see you anyway. So hands up who's Nick and Osmond's friends who's online. We've got Jonesy, that's new. Carlos is new. You don't know me. They're new. Hi, Aggie. I just see you there as well. So, you're from Brazil. Well, Carlos, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Brazil.
I think that's got to be our furthest listener.
Yeah. Well, we got Minnesota, haven't we? We've got
Minnesota,
Savage.
and we've had a line in with somebody in Australia, but
Jonesy's not new. Oh, hello, Eric. Eric's not new.
he's not using his usual name. That's what it is.
Isn't. So, well, anyway, let's get on with the show anyway before anything else goes wrong. No. So, as I say, we've got some observations for you. Just the one tonight.
I've got one. There was absolutely nothing out there that wasn't old.
Okay, go on.
But apparently, and I don't know if this is true because I don't have Google Earth, but Google Earth has found a gigantic Mayan chief's head dress with full headdress and everything.
Oh yeah.
As it's gone over and checked Google Earth. And apparently it's it's listening to an iPod.
Oh right.
Well, if you look at the picture on the thing, you can actually see something coming down from where the ear would be.
All right. I see. It's got to be photoshopped or something or other.
No, apparently this is true. I was going to give you the coordinates for Google Earth, but my printer has only done the north ones, so I can only give you half of them.
Right.
But,
Okay. That's all right. Well, I
it
must
says
admit.
It's called the Badlands Guardian by locals.
Right.
A road leading from the oil well was
Yeah.
recently built, giving the impression of an international. That's the impression of the earphone. It's actually a new road that's gone in.
Right.
And the lower left-hand corner is less discernible figure can be seen looking vaguely like a Dick Tracy character from the 1930s.
Right.
But
Okay.
if you go on Google Earth, it can be found.
All right. Well, apparently, I remember a while ago, there was something else on Google Earth where there was supposed to be an angel in the sky or Jesus or whatever. I think it's just the way it pixelates or something. It shows something up there. So, but
this one,
nice.
but this one locally does exist.
All right. Okay. Well,
It's just that Google Earth never noticed it.
The other observation I want to tell you is we've been informed that this week is the 3rd anniversary of a blog named Paranormal Corner. So what I'll do is, if I get the chance, if everything stays where it is, I will put it on the chat room a little bit later. But we'd like to wish all of our friends around the world that are part of the Paranormal Corner at paranormalcorner.blog.com, I think it is, but I will double check. If John's about, maybe he can check for me. But yeah, it's as I say, it's they've been going 3 years. He never thought it'd last 1 year actually, but well done to them. So big aloha to
a bit like us then.
Gary Johansson in Hawaii. So and all the best for the next 3 years. Right. Well, anyway, on to tonight. Are you a lizard, by the way? Because according to Joe, you are. Nick Higgins is a lizard, so he must be a friend of yours. Right. Well, without any further ado,
So,
we're gonna.
So was it you that David Icke was talking about?
Yeah, maybe. Right. Okay then. Thank you very much, Andy. There you go. Paranormal-corner blogspots.co.uk. Cheers, Andy, for that. Right, so on to tonight's show. As I say, we've got Livestock Productions with us. So they've got their mics on. Good evening,
Hello,
lads.
good evening.
Good evening. And as I say, you will see Osman moving about a bit with the camera because he's also filming us for the documentary as well that we're doing. But more of that in a minute. So, Nick.
Hello.
Where do you hail from?
Hail from Stalybridge in Tameside, which is not too far from you guys here in Clayton, is it?
Yeah. So, and Osmond, obviously, he's filming at the moment. But whereabouts are you from?
I'm multitasking.
He's multitasking.
I'm from Ashton.
You're from Ashton.
Yeah.
Now, what's this about Livestock Productions? What's the idea of all this?
Shall I field that one, Osman, while you set the
go
camera
ahead.
up? Okay, well, Oz and I have come back from university the end of last year, and we're quite far away for our time at uni. And we came back and got talking about Tameside. I think it made us think about the area quite differently, in a really fond light actually. So we got talking. We're really keen to put a project together that made use of the local area. So we did think about a play or doing some writing. Anyway, we're both really keen on documentaries, and Osman's kind of a big film fanatic. So we thought perhaps making a documentary would be the best thing. So it was as simple as that. We were sat in the back garden. We started talking about it. We went through loads of different ideas. We're going to do the pubs of Stalybridge. We thought, that's a bit naff.
Yeah.
Then one of our friends, Karen Patelli, we should do a big shout out for, suggested we should do the history of courtship in Greater Manchester. And we're thinking, oh my God, these ideas are getting terrible. And we're watching, I can't remember what film we were watching, but we were watching a horror film. And I said, well, what about one about the paranormal? Because, me and Oz have both watched kind of things like Most Haunted in the past. We're interested in it, kind of a passing interest. So we literally, it was as simple as I sat with my laptop with Oz. We were sat in the garden, and I just Googled Tameside Ghost Hunters was I think how it started. We found you guys, we made contacts, and you're the first project for Livestock Productions. So we feel quite privileged, quite excited. But that's where the idea came from.
So that's where it all came from, and then obviously you found us. So out of all the paranormal groups you found us.
We did. Well, we were very. No, not so much. It sounds like we kind of just plucked you from anywhere, but
Yeah.
we were, because there are paranormal groups around, and you told us a lot about that. But I think we're really keen that it should be one, as local to Tameside and in Greater Manchester as
Yeah.
possible. And obviously, you guys completely fitted the bill on that, so it was perfect for us. Really.
Right. Now, we're going to talk more about Muslim and multicultural belief later on, but
Osman's the right guy for that.
Yeah.
You can see on the camera.
And it's just asked, are you believers?
well, I'm going to find that out in a minute. But Osmond, what made you decide to do this paranormal thing? Is this, as I say, Nick said it's you enjoy the films and that, but from a Muslim point of view?
I was bullied into this by the charisma of Nick Higgins. No, what made us do it, or what made me do it rather, was the idea that we'd get to kind of explore something which, given our kind of location in the northwest, might be considered quite a niche, kind of unusual set of beliefs, and that we'd get to encounter a group of people who believe in a certain, let's say, peculiar, or what is conventionally recognised as something peculiar, and just to kind of engage a dialogue and see what it would be like to kind of pursue something which has interested us kind of minimally up until now.
Right.
And we are finding out great things.
Good.
You can see Osmond talks far more eloquently than I do. I'll just talk about most haunted and ghosts. Like Oz is the man with the brains, I think, in this project.
So, are you actually asking the question with what they've said? Are you actually a believer, Nick?
No, I'm not a believer. In fact, I would have myself down as a skeptic or a rationalist or whatever you like to say. But I'm sure, perhaps my friends that are tuned in now, and certainly Osmond will tell you, like I'm really happy to. I don't know so much to be convinced by things, but I really, really enjoy the kind of just the pure experience that new things kind of like or new experiences, the kind of adrenaline rush of that or the fear. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit later. But for example, Sue, you gave me a tarot reading last weekend, which was very, very kind of you. And although I didn't believe in it, and I still don't think I did, like I found the experience, as I said, really powerful, really convincing, even a little bit emotional, So no, I'm not a believer, but I've got to say I've found our time so far absolutely fascinating, and I'm certainly thinking things and feeling things, but I don't know if I'd say it's belief. So no, I'm definitely a skeptic, I think, but happy to have a go.
Having said that, Ghostwriter said, well, what did you think of the investigation you came to at the museum?
Again, that's the kind of thing, like I didn't go away from the investigation, convinced of the existence of ghosts. But what I did come away with was having some very kind of like quite powerful experiences. There was at one point I remember, because you allowed myself and Tommy does some of our sounds to walk around, which was great. And something suddenly went on down a kind of a corner between two buses, and we both talked about it afterwards. And the feeling as you walked down there was that it seemed to become like infinitely black, like almost inescapably black. So of course, we write that away as psychological, but it was a very real experience. You two, I think I can't remember who it was who thought you had seen things, but it was a powerful experience, and it felt dark and it was powerful. So I'm not convinced, but the experience I've had have been very real, and I think quite affecting in a way. So yeah.
Right. Now I want to ask Osmond this question. First of all, are you Islamic? Is this right? I want to ask you this.
Are you a practicing Muslim? Put it that way.
The reason why I'm asking, because I don't want to ask you this question and get it wrong, but Wee Boy is asking, would like to ask you if your Islamism influences your belief in the paranormal.
Well, I suppose the easiest way to answer this would be to say that I come from a Muslim family. So, in terms of the influences that I could control in my life, it has been up in my upbringing. So we've had a philosophy which we'll kind of talk about later.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about demons and the jinn, which has been kind of compounded into me from an early age. I'm not practicing.
Right.
But I know that my mum and dad, who are both listening right now,
right,
would wish that I was. Much more so than I am.
Good evening, Osmond's mum and dad.
Yeah, I'm also expecting an imminent fatwa by the end of this radio. By the end of this radio.
If we could take a detour for a minute though, because I can see Andy 707 on the chat room has said, work with other skeptical types making TV, and they're usually making detrimental assumptions. So I'd like to. I think we should deal with that because I think it's quite an important part for our project. So undoubtedly, I think the media and television like often approaches things that you might see as a niche belief,
Yeah.
as something to be detrimental or critical towards. But I think the fact is that skepticism can be handled in a really positive way, and I think already with your team, with you and Sue, we've discussed really carefully and quite honestly how we are going to be skeptical about your beliefs.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily have to be detrimental, and I think if people who are members of the paranormal community or people who have what you might term as niche beliefs, I think a great way for them to have serious recognition is to embrace that kind of skepticism very openly and let people make their own assumptions. I think TV often makes things like the paranormal victims of the editing, not necessarily the process of the story we're trying to tell. So
Yeah. Now, before we go anywhere else on this subject, can I just say this isn't going to be a most haunted type program, is it? What is it actually going to be?
Well,
about?
I feel that.
Maybe I could kind of
Yeah.
put my spin on it. Thank
Go
you,
on then.
Carlos. No, it's not going to be a most haunted type thing. And in terms of catching ghosts on camera, we couldn't be any less interested in that.
No.
Because
exactly.
the focus of our documentary is the UK Shadow Seekers.
Mm-hmm.
It's you and Steve, and it's the community in which you're operating. And what we're assessing really is how a belief which is now considered quite small, perhaps slightly outdated, how that could be prevalent in such an area.
Yeah.
Given like the kind of social urban environment that we're in. And so really this is a sociological documentary more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think the paranormal aspect is really like a byproduct of you guys' beliefs. Like we're interested in you as people and where your beliefs have come from. Like Osmond said, like our last interest is capturing any paranormal activity. Or the other thing is we were talking about skepticism. I think lowest on our like level of interest is like trying to examine whether the belief itself is genuine. Like we want to understand like where your beliefs have come from, where your perspectives have come from. That's the only way we're going to be like kind of bringing skepticism to what you guys.
It's like am I right in thinking it's the bones behind a paranormal investigation group? Really, what we actually do.
Yeah. I think in a way, like we're really lucky that you kind of let us into your lives to film. But I think, in a way, we're also offering you the opportunity to show that there's kind of a very serious business behind paranormal investigation. So I know Andy 707's obviously got his concerns. I can understand where they're coming from. But I think this is a really good opportunity to show that there's a very serious kind of professionalism behind the activities that I think, in fact, I think if you're going to be critical of anything, be critical of things like Most Haunted that have already been on TV.
Yeah.
And I think have parodied what's a very serious set of beliefs and a serious set of operations. So what we're trying to do is really, demonstrate the seriousness and the professionalism behind it and the interest and some of the comedy, because you accept that, a lot of what goes on is funny. You said very openly to us, you argue like cat and dog sometimes.
Yes.
Some things go wrong and, people think this or people think that. But we want to provide a vehicle for you to discuss that as genuinely as possible.
Yeah. Because obviously when people come on investigations, they see us, see us do our thing. When they watch it on TV, they see them do their thing. And at the end of the day, it is a prejudice side of it, because all you're seeing is the commercial side of things. Whereas if people realise that these people that are doing this, they do have a life behind the scenes, and what they do behind the scenes. We've had people on investigation that have said, "Oh, I'd like to join your team." They've been with us half an hour and gone, "God, I didn't know it was this hard work," And it's a bit different from people coming on an investigation.
Yeah, definitely.
There is a lot of hard work, and Andy further back did say sorry, but he's had but he's had some bad experiences.
No, and I completely understand that. And I think, like, let's not beat about the bush here. Let's be completely honest. Like, you've only got to look at a whole set of TV. I think like the phenomenon of all different kinds of reality TV that's so prevalent on everything from BBC and ITV at the minute really makes its business to make people look like idiots and to parody people's beliefs. And like, I don't think me and Osmond could like feel any more disdainful about that kind of TV. I think it cheapens people's experiences. I think it cheapens people's beliefs, and like, there's something that we personally value. Because Osmond, let's not forget, Osmond and I have a very strong set of beliefs ourselves. Just because they might not be as explicit as your guys in the paranormal, they're no less important to us.
Yeah.
And I think our belief in integrity and trying to like tell a good story is what means we have absolutely no intention of trying to make fun or parody.
No, this is it. Can I just interject here? Now, we know that at the end of the day, people do have their views and their opinions, and but I must say that the people in the chat room do respect our guests and the people in the chat room. It's not exactly they're not exactly criticising or anything like that. They're just asking genuine questions, because when it comes to the paranormal, it is more either for or against, isn't it?
It's personal belief.
But then again, I think this is good, and I think Mish is actually one of our friends. That's our friend Mickey, so I will say shout out to him here. And I think what he's doing there is because he feels. I think this is really highlighting an interesting point that Osman and I are operating from very, a similar strong set of beliefs and perspectives, which is skepticism. But there's no reason. I think you said you wanted to go on later to talk about multiculturalism or how different beliefs and faiths operate alongside each other.
Yeah.
There's no reason that your guys' strong belief and our skepticism can't exist perfectly successfully alongside each other and make for a really interesting project and a successful project.
Now the thing is with Andy is he has come from he has worked with a commercial team though, hasn't he? Which is different.
He's worked
I should
point
out.
Commercials. He's worked from both sides.
Yeah, well, I should point out we're neither private or commercial. We're an amateur documentary making team, and that's what we're about.
No, he's been with the commercial paranormal group.
Okay,
So he looks at it from that side.
Yeah,
as well.
and also Wee Boy says thanks to Osman for your comment. And before it disappears, can we quickly ask you about the famous Indian myth of the ghost of Bobby
Dale?
Bobby Deol.
Are you ready for my answer?
Yeah, go on.
No.
Oh, Wee Boy's getting no answers there.
You're not getting an answer there.
I think he's making a joke.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I was going to say, how long has he been trying to get that one out?
I bet he's waited at his laptop all night to get that one.
Don't forget, if it does crash, just restart again. And it does happen, I must admit. Livestream being American, do work on different timelines than us, and might decide to update things. Well, so, But as I say,
Carlos has just said he's been to many paranormal events, and he gets positive vibes from the Asian fella. Then that would be Osmond.
Yes.
Thank you, Carlos.
I'd
like a postcard.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? A postcard from Brazil. So,
but before we move on, can we just kind of clear this one up once and for all? I think it's important for your viewers because obviously people feel strongly enough about what you do to tune in and listen to you every week. So, and I mean, if anyone wants to come to the premiere of the documentary, which will be in mid-July, you're welcome. And I think that will be concrete proof that you can do a documentary and you can work with set beliefs like the paranormal, and it can be perfectly genuine and serious.
Excuse me, the premiere will be in July.
Premiere will be in July. So come down and watch the finished product, and I hope that will challenge the assumptions that you've got about documentary making or filmmaking.
I'm definitely coming down for the premiere.
Yeah, you're on the invite list. Don't worry.
God, are we that close to it?
Certainly are.
Well,
wow.
All we need to do now is get Tameside Theatre up and running and get it there.
Steve,
that'd be good, wouldn't
Steve,
it?
that is not all we have to do. Right? There is a lot to do.
No, that's all we have to do.
I don't know. So that's the premise of obviously of livestock production. What's going to happen after this documentary? Where are you going from there?
Well, I hope we'll make another documentary. I think
on a different subject.
Yeah, on a different subject. Exactly the same kind of rationale, same kind of approach. But we're yet to find another subject. So
and I suppose I should just add to that, is that we will make another documentary on a different subject, but the premise will essentially be the same, which is that we're focusing on localized kind of examples of what I keep calling peculiar beliefs, but maybe I should call them unique beliefs.
Yeah.
Niche beliefs, I quite
like.
Or
maybe like unique kind of activities which go on in the area, because we are very much concerned with the area as a whole, as we are with our own subjects. So maybe we'll move on to kind of professional wrestling.
Now you've recently been in the papers, haven't you, with another story?
Yeah.
Can you just give us a bit about that?
Yeah. Well, we're quite lucky actually. There was an article in the Tameside Reporter, which for anyone who doesn't know is one of the local free papers. It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and a colleague at work passed that to me, and it was a really interesting guy who'd gone out and taken a landscape photo about 5 years ago. Yeah. And in it, when he got them developed, his wife had spotted what seemed like a ghostly figure kind of kneeled on a gravestone. So I should give him a shout out in case he's listening. That's Alan Bishop, and you can look at his photos at Alan Bishop Photography. And he kind of sat on that because he thought, well, he was a total skeptic. So he thought, well, I don't want to bring any attention to this. So he kind of just buried the photo. Anyway, he happened to be talking about it in the local pub about 3-4 months ago. And the editor of the local paper was in there. So he said, oh, we've definitely got to run a story on this. So he went up, kind of had another look at the scene, talked a little bit about what he'd photographed and what he thought it was. And we went along as well to interview the photographer. So he kind of mocked up again the photo for us. brought along the negative, showing us how he was taking it, described his experiences, and the paper on a little story about that. We mentioned to you guys, I think, and also talked about the documentary a little bit. So it was a nice bit of exposure, but it was just really interesting and timely that had been happening locally.
Yeah, so that was good, wasn't it? So it gives you, as I say, it's going to be part of the documentary then.
Well,
so.
do you not think that it was a wonderful coincidence?
Yeah, just
that
like
making a documentary on
Yeah.
supernatural.
And you've been out looking for black dogs as well, or
Yeah.
something,
We haven't
haven't
been,
you?
yeah, been looking for the black dog of Chew, unsuccessfully, unfortunately. Thank
What
you
is
very
this black
much.
dog of Chew?
Well, I should tell you, the Black Dog of Chew is a little featurette we did, and it was our kind of first full day out practicing with the equipment, mainly to test the audio, actually. So we went to Dovestones, which is a local beauty spot, I'm sure you know it, Sue. And we were just walking around, and a guy happened to tell us about the Black Dog of Chew, which was a cryptozoological animal. Is that the correct
Yes,
term?
that's right. Yeah.
Who apparently stalks the moors up above Dovestones. So we went looking for it. I'm not sure how serious the investigation was, but it was a good chance to try it and work on some of the techniques that hopefully we'll bring to the documentary.
Yeah. So also, obviously, you've got the black dog. You've been looking for boggits with our Neil.
We haven't. Well,
I believe you interviewed our Neil recently.
we did. We interviewed.
How did that go?
We interviewed Neil, who's your psychic medium, who works with the group. It was fantastic, and I should say thank you again. I don't want to keep going back to Andy 707, but I'm glad he's raised that point because it is important and one we want to tackle.
Yeah.
Suzanne and Steve and the group, and Neil's been incredibly open with us. Told us some quite personal things, which I think is very brave to say. Still to relative strangers and certainly to stay on camera. But he really talked in depth about the development of his mediumship and about the personal experience that had kind of shaped some of his mediumship. And it was a fantastic interview, and I think it was so great because because he was so open with us. And I hope Neil would vouch for kind of our seriousness and the honesty which we approached it, because we couldn't thank him anymore for being so open and so serious with us. So it was a really interesting interview.
So going back onto your own personal life, what do you actually do?
Well, I work at a local college,
Mm-hmm.
and Osman is a part-time tutor, proofreader.
Right.
So that's kind of how we make our.
And you've recently did something down at Oxbridge, was it?
Yes, we did. That's where we did our degrees.
Yeah. You graduated.
Yeah, we did graduate. Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So Osman graduated from Cambridge over the summer. I graduated from Oxford a couple of months ago. So yeah, but it's a long way from home, and I think that was part of the genesis of this documentary. It was really nice to get back to where we're from and when we've grown up and meet some of the people and work with them that do live around here and are from this area that we feel really, really fondly about.
Oh, that's good. Now, Osman, I'm going to go back to a question that Steve noticed on there. Carlos in Brazil, Salvador of all places, he wants to know whether you've ever experienced any paranormal activity, particularly in a garage. Do you know anything about this?
Carlos.
Yes.
Are you messing with me? Well, you see, I spend most of my time in my garage.
Yeah.
Which might sound like an unusual thing to say.
Yeah.
But you see, it's been renovated slightly,
Right.
and this is where we work, and my desk is there and so forth. So usually have the lads over, and I haven't noticed any. Now I can't tell you whether there's been paranormal activity in there or not. But
Nothing strange.
I haven't noticed any, but I will keep my eye out for it, Carlos. And if anything comes my way, I'll blame you.
Can I ask you guys, since you started doing this with us, and obviously looking into what we do, has your mindset changed? Yeah, have you been looking for this sort of thing yourself in your normal life? Have you noticed things that?
Have you started notice things that
things that may have popped in or out?
No, that would. I don't think that would be true if we said that. No. So I don't think that would be a true answer. Right. We haven't, but like I said before, I think the things that we've done with you guys, I think they've made me feel. So even something like, let's take tarot reading. Yeah. Because that was a really interesting experience. What that did, because I think before that I would have thought, well, why do people go for tarot reading? Yeah. But I think after having a tarot reading, whether I believe in the process behind it or not, I think it was kind of made me think about things enough to realise why other people would go for them. So, yeah, I suppose in that sense, it has kind of changed my opinions a little bit on things in a positive way.
Yeah. But did the reading actually pick up on things that you wouldn't have thought that she would have done?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of things, me and Sue were discussing them before, that I think, I don't know if I assign truth to them, but certainly, certainly fitted with perhaps a few things, or
Yeah.
people that I know. And in that sense, yeah, kind of, it validated it, even if it was in the sense that it made me think about certain people or certain things quite clearly. So that was, it was a really interesting experience.
Oh, that's good then. Right now,
Well, thanks for that,
Osman.
Sue, I should say.
Right, Osman.
Yes.
I would like to talk to you a bit more about your beliefs, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you've gone into this subject, this paranormal subject, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we know. We used to go to a restaurant, and as I said to you before, and it got so friendly with us there that the waiters started talking about the Quran, didn't they, Steve?
Yes.
And they told us about dinosaurs and what they thought about that and everything else, and the prophets and stuff. We used to get quite educational indeed when it came to our Indian restaurant, didn't it? But we got onto the subject because they knew what we did as paranormal investigators. We got onto the subject of jinns, didn't we?
Yes.
Now, what was it Masood used to say to you about the jinn?
Very basically, I'm sure Osman will go in a bit more. He was saying that the jinn are mischievous spirits, not necessarily evil, but the mischievous spirits. And he was saying that we're not picking up who we think we are. We're picking up a jinn pretending to be who we think they are.
Yeah, so they're not, say, your Uncle Singh or whatever. They're
a jinn pretending to be.
I'm glad it's not your Uncle Singh, guys. Yeah.
But at the same time, not all jinn are the same.
No, there are good jinn.
There are 12 that actually studied under. Forgive me if I get it wrong. Is it Muhammad he studied under?
Yes.
Yes, I didn't want to get the wrong one. And so there's good, and there's, for the want of a better word, there's bad.
Bad, yeah.
But having said that, I find it interesting that there was 12 jinn that stood under Muhammad, and you get 12 disciples.
Yeah.
And all that seems to link around all the different religions.
Right, and we're connecting spirits with Rum and Gordon's now. So, but but as I say, the thing is with us and the KTPF, which stands for Keeping the Paranormal Friendly, which everyone is doing. We like to find out more about not just the Christian belief in spirits. We like to find out about the multicultural belief. Now, being a Muslim as you are, what is your beliefs, and what are these jinns? Are they genies? Is that where the words come from?
I think you should clear up they're not actually like Gordon's jinn, judging by the chat from the chat room.
Well, let me try and help as far as I can.
Yes.
And I'll preface this by saying that I'm more of a kind of a cultural Muslim.
Okay.
It's not my active philosophy, but it's my upbringing, and so everything that I've learned from it, I've learned through my parents, and I've got some anecdotes for you, which maybe later you could ask me to expound. But the jinn are a race of people, and the way that Islam kind of reworks the story of angels and demons is actually quite elegant. So what they posit is that God, he created two races. So man and mankind were created, and then the genie race were created, the jinns, and they actually they function like we do. So they have families, they have careers.
Really?
There are Muslim jinns, there are non-Muslim jinns, there are vegetarian jinns, there are all kinds of jinns.
What kind of careers do the jinns have?
Well, I don't know, you see, they're very but like, the idea is that the men were created from dried clay. Angels were created from light. And the jinn, as the famous quotation goes, were created from smokeless fire. And they have certain abilities which they can manipulate in certain ways. Now, theologically, what I'm not sure about is why the jinn were created.
Right.
And the only reason that is given, which I've made a note of,
is it because they're ginger and there's a crack in the one-liners there?
Andy going for it?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me.
Right.
Is the word from God the Father. So they are essentially just another servile race there to worship the Creator. And the real kind of joy of this story is the way that it kind of works into the idea of demons and the devil.
Yeah.
So the word for the devil in Arabic and Urdu is shaitan, and Lucifer comes in the guise of Iblis in the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
And Iblis is said he's not a demon, because angels are so pure, so how could an angel become a demon? He's actually a jinn.
Right.
And he's one who's rejected God. And the story, which is posited in the Quran, is actually quite a beautiful story. Very much kind of, it's a spin on the, the Quran in a way is a grand plagiarism of the Old Testament.
Okay.
In the same way that, these books are borrowed from Jewish theology, and then Christian theology becomes the feeder for the Islamic. But the story of Satan in the Quran goes as following. God creates Adam and Eve, and he orders all of the angels to bow before Adam and Eve. These are my prize creations.
Yeah.
So one by one they step forward. Gabriel steps forward, he bows, Michael steps forward. And then Iblis, who has up until this point been God's favourite angel, or jinn, steps forward, and he refuses to bow.
Uh-huh.
I won't bow in front of someone who is inferior.
Yeah.
But man is said to be superior to the jinn, and so he should have bowed.
Mm-hmm.
And then in that way he falls to hell, and he becomes the leader then of the evil jinn.
Right.
And any jinn which rejects Islam, because they get the choice as well, you see, this is the way the story goes, any jinn that rejects Islam becomes a follower of Iblis, of Satan. And
see, guys, it is a little bit similar to our Bible. So, but
conspiracy, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to stop you there. What I'll do is I'll just give them a quick break, and if that's all right with you, and then you can get yourself sorted out. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll see you in a bit. So that give Andy time to sort out his sound. So we'll see you in a minute.
And now here's a word from our sponsor.
Finally, the #1 weight loss and fitness challenge in North America is coming to the UK. Don't miss your chance to be the first Brits to be a part of it. Be honest, right now you probably want to lose some weight, live a healthier, more active lifestyle, or get in better shape. We're here to challenge you to make your health a priority with the new Body by Vi 90-day challenge.
My favorite thing about the challenge was just losing the weight. Got my life back, that's it.
Now we've gone from being couch potatoes to being, fit athletes, working out, strength training every single day. It's changed our whole lifestyle.
Let's be real. You don't have to look far to see we have a problem. A growing problem. With today's work demands and faster-paced lifestyle driving us toward quick fixes, it's no secret how we got here. Finally, something that's simple, affordable, fun, tastes amazing, and most importantly, it works. The Body by Vi Challenge is the solution you've been searching for. The challenge is North America's #1 90-day platform for weight loss and fitness results. To date, over 500 million Vi shakes have been served to millions of people who have already lost millions of pounds, making the challenge the fastest growing weight loss and fitness movement in North America today. Powered by a line of innovative wellness products from Vi, the Body by Vi Challenge is coming to the UK. The perfect way to start a lasting health transformation. And by simply selecting a kit, you have access to all the resources you need to succeed. So, set your goal, select your kit, enter to win. Be the first in the UK to be on the challenge. There is no better time than now to start making your health a priority. So why not start losing weight, getting fit, saving money, and having fun? Guaranteed. Are you up for the new Body by Vi Challenge?
The one phone call that I made to try to join the challenge to lose weight has changed every aspect of our life.
Yeah, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. And that was a word from our sponsors. And yes, Andy, they do pay us for that. Not a lot, but they do. And it's something. It pays for our server. And that's the main thing. And but yes, even though Neil says raw liver and 6 raw eggs blended together and gulped down, followed by 2 hours in the gym does the same trick.
Oh, I think I'd rather have the shake.
I don't know. So anyway, we're talking to Livestock Productions tonight. We're also talking at the moment to Osman Riaz about his multicultural belief, as I like to call it, and about the jinn and what his teachings are when it comes to spirits and demons and stuff. We're going to get Neil on the line very, very shortly, and just after 9:30, we will have a young lady back on, Miss Alison Wynne-Ryder. She's going to be here talking to us about all sorts of things, about rescue medium stuff, and she's also going to be doing a couple of readings. So, and if you fancy having a reading done, then you can just give us a call. But I'm going to give Neil a ring, so hopefully he's available, because we're talking about spirits and stuff, so he's probably going to have a question to ask.
I should say this is interesting for me as well, because this is something Osman's never talked about to me, these kind of beliefs. So.
Yeah, can I also say, if anybody has any other beliefs that they want to talk to us about, please do. I mean, Andy just made not everyone's they're not all non-Christians here. There are other non-Christians here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have pagans, we have people from Jewish religion, Sikh religions. I mean, I don't want to get on the soapbox because I can be on here for hours talking about this stuff. But to me, they're all the bloody same. They just want to work it round their own ways to make themselves look better. I mean, no offence to any particular religion. It's just the way it seems. Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen a poor religion?
Interesting.
And yet they were created to help.
Yeah. So I've
never seen a poor religion.
God loves money.
I mean,
he needs money.
I mean, he does need money.
He does, yeah. They always need money. The collection box is out quicker than mine.
Yeah, I mean, Rome's the biggest one. I mean, come on.
So we've got Neil on the line.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, guys.
So,
hey, Nick. Careful.
Hitting the table now. So how are you, Neil?
I'm not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad at all.
So sorry you can't be with us tonight.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. Work obviously comes first sometimes.
So, but we're talking to Osman here about multicultural beliefs and demons, and you've got a few demons, haven't you?
I've got a few demons. No, I wouldn't say that. No, I get rid of demons.
I know you do. I don't know. So you were saying about the gin then,
yeah.
Osman.
Well, do you know? Can I tell you something actually?
Yeah, come on.
This might be of interest to Neil.
Yeah.
In this philosophy which Islam expounds about the jinn and the genie, they do say that mediums are jinns as well.
Oh, Neil, can you hear that?
Oh, Neil, I don't know about
He's a
that.
bit low, isn't he?
I would like to be the first person though, live on radio, to ask Neil
if he's a jinn.
Right, he was saying that you're a bit low. He's around you.
I'm
Neil.
sorry. I'll speak up.
Keep that mic to your mouth.
I'm just
right.
learning.
Say that again so we can hear you.
What I was saying, Neil, was that it's quite interesting that in this philosophy which Islam expounds about the jinn, mediums are considered as jinns as well. So I want to be the first person to ask you whether you're a jinn.
Are you a jinn, Neil?
But as the story goes, I have to ask you 3 times to go away, and if you don't go away, you're not a jinn. So can I try this with you?
He's gonna try it with you. Go on.
Are you a jinn? Are you a jinn? Are you a jinn?
Are you still here?
Are you still with us? Are you there, Neil? Speak to me.
I told you. I told you all along.
You proved it, Osman.
Okay, I've been reincarnated. I'm back.
Reincarnated live on air.
Can I just say that? Would that belief be because mediums contact the spirit?
Yeah, I mean, like, can I just clarify as well that these aren't my personal beliefs. I'm just merely being the spokesperson here for the religion. But they include mediumship with voodoo, with black magic, with poltergeists, witchcraft, Ouija boards, fortune telling. Fortune tellers are said to be jinns.
And all of which we were going to get you to do next week.
Oh dear me. So we're jinns as well then?
You would be technically.
Oh, right.
But maybe you're nice jinns.
We're nice jinns. We're good
You seem like nice jinns.
I sometimes wish I had some of their powers.
So basically, there was a fallen angel that became Satan and such. She was telling us.
Yes. So Iblis is his name, and he becomes the leader of the jinn as the most powerful, being a former angel. And the basic kind of premise of this is that the jinn are treated in the religion as man is treated in the religion. They have free will. And the idea of free will comes, it's a very Christian notion. And these are John Milton, who wrote Paradise Lost. I have to sneak this in.
Yeah, I thought you might.
John Milton, who wrote Paradise Lost, expounds also a great kind of a series of kind of comparisons between man and the jinn. And jinn were given kind of special abilities, so they can move very quickly. They can manipulate the senses. They can assume forms and shapes.
Yeah.
So whether that's an animal, a stool, a tree, they can take whichever form they like, and they can either be malicious or they can be kind. My mum was telling me that oftentimes when it comes to possession, being possessed by a jinn, it's somebody that a jinn has fallen in love with that becomes possessed. So it's not always necessarily a malicious thing.
Yeah.
But they kind of work. They are considered invisible, and their world runs parallel to ours. So
now, there was a question. There was something. I don't know if you remember this, Neil, but a few months ago, there was something on the observations that we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where there was a Muslim that was possessed. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how they were dealing with it and this, that, and the other? Have you ever come across anything like this in your culture, or close to you, or not exactly close? But have you heard about the casting out of spirits in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of this can be a slightly grim area.
Yeah.
When it comes to exorcism, especially when you're talking about primitive places where these religions are kind of exercised quite openly.
Yeah.
I could tell you a story, an anecdote about my grandfather, which my mother told me quite recently, and this is quite a nice story about the jinn. My mum, you see, is quite sensitive to these kind of things, and the story goes like this. My granddad had a small shop in Pakistan back in the day, and he hired a young man to be his assistant, and he'd come back in the evening and a lot of tea would have been drank, and my granddad would ask this man, "Where's all this tea going?" And he would say, "I have two friends who come to visit me, and they stay for a long time."
Yeah, you've told me this story before. Yeah.
And they stay for a long time with me, and they talk to me, and they tell me things. And so my granddad kind of waved this off. And a week later, they had a delivery, and they used to get big kind of bags of rice, which would come on a large lorry, and it would take many, many hours to unload the lorry. So my granddad sends his assistant out to kind of get as many people as he can to help unload this lorry. He comes back 5 minutes later, and my granddad says, "What are you doing? You're supposed to go and find people to help you unload the lorry." And he says, "Oh no, I've done it." "How?" And he says, "Well, you remember my two friends? They came along and they said, you just stand here and we'll do it for you."
I've heard this story.
Really?
I know this story.
Well, maybe it's a famous story. And then it goes on that they were at home, and they kind of realized at this point that something peculiar is going on. So they invited an exorcist to try and rid these jinns. And they demanded that they give them some sign after the ceremony had been performed that they'd left. And as my mum told me, the branch of the tallest tree in their garden fell from the very top right down to the bottom as a sign that they'd left, because they can essentially be reasoned with, you see. They have a kind of consciousness and a rationale. They are good and evil and so forth. And my mum told me this story very recently, and she said to me, if you want to go on the radio show and tell them about it, you can do. Because she's quite kind of sensitive to these things. And my granddad had a kind of very peculiar mindset when it came to the paranormal and the supernatural. He would often kind of be caught speaking to himself and There was, my mum believes that there was something kind of behind that. I hope it's not a serious kind of mental illness which runs in our family, which my father kind of
making light of it,
which you know. But like, yeah, so like, but the problem with these kind of stories, of course, is that you can't really judge the kind of validity of them.
Yeah.
And
I think it's fascinating that Steve said he's heard this story before.
I know, Steve.
Kind of shows like, kind of shows how it shows how these things become like.
I can't remember where though. I know I've heard it before.
What do you think, Neil? What do you think about these gins and stuff?
Well, as you know, I'm not a religious person, which might come as a shock, but I don't believe in religion, so I don't take any sides of religion. I don't believe in various religion sort of sayings and other things, but people get the wrong idea. I mean, I sort of went down the demonology route for 2 years before I did my exorcism work with the church. And the reason why I did that is I wanted to know exactly what I was getting myself into. I wanted to know what people were talking about, what people's beliefs were. And you know, it's very much like, well, I can relate it to the boggy. You know, it's stories that people have made up. It's names that people have made up over the years. It's biblical stuff. You know, there's a lot of religious stuff in there that's brought around to scare people and to control people. You know, so there's lots of various things in there that you know we could talk about over a very, very long time. You know, we do have bad things that come from the spirit world, but they're not necessarily demons. You know, they're just what we call a low energy entity or a negative entity that feeds on negative vibrations. That's all. But they're the ones that we look out for, and they're the ones that we send back.
Right, okay, I just got to ask him a question. Andy707's put something down, and then when they've gone to look on the onto the screen to see what it says, he's asking what they're looking at. Andy says, according to Wiki, which means it might be wrong, which is an understatement, it says that the idea of jinn redates Islam.
That's meant to be predates.
What do you mean predates?
Well, you know, I have to thank Andy for pursuing this and for grilling me on it. I do like a bit of competition.
Okay.
Yes, no, it probably does, Andy. You're right.
You mean?
But I was merely giving you the Islamic side of it. I mean, of course, ancient Persia ran a similar story to the jinn folklore. Going back even deeper into kind of folk tales. Yeah. The idea of the genie, the daemon, the spirit which would follow people around. I think
that's the point of these things, though. Like, you know, even earlier than that, I think that the earliest forms of religion are like social interaction shows. These kind of like folkloric tales are the idea of some other, you know, whether it be a jinn or a genie or whatever kind of spirit, are always prevalent in any society. So that's quite an interesting point.
This is what I like about this sort of subject. It does cross many cultures. You know what I mean? And he did mean predate. You know, and it does give you a different perspective on some of it, and it also it does clarify some things that are similar. Like, as we say, there were 12 jinn, there were 12.
Yeah, I think that's what I think kind of the reason for these kind of like large conferences, for instance, which kind of psychoanalysis has really gone into, and I mean, it would only take kind of, if you spend a moment with Freud and you read something like his beautiful essay, The Future of an Illusion, he says that as long as man is afraid of the dark, as long as he's afraid of death, he is going to believe in God. He is going to believe in demons, because these relate to things which are unanswerable to us. But at the same time, there is that basic human need to know these kind of things. So every culture that I can think of has expounded some kind of ghost, spirit, God.
And I'd really like to link this specific conversation back to a little bit about what we were talking before. I think, you know, we were discussing about perhaps our skepticism or the value I took, particularly maybe from a tarot reading, for example. You know, it isn't that we directly share the same set of beliefs, but that there's these crossover points or these areas of commonality, you know, be it between world religions or our conceptions of spirits or goals, or between the power inherent in some of these practices or experiences. That's what makes them interesting, that there is common ground between them. I think that's something really positive, and I think, you know, not to bring it back to the documentary again, but something that we're interested in exploring. You know, where are these crossover points?
As I say, the crossover is the fact, for instance, we would know about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs sort of thing. yeah, therefore you would know about, I don't know, Aisha or something, and the Seven Jinn or something similar. You know, do you think it could be something similar to that, telling the story in your culture?
Yeah, I think like somebody once said that there have only ever been 7 stories ever told. And there is some truth to that, because what we have is versions of stories which are repeated through cultures, which are moulded by society, which are then shaped by history, turned into myth, legend, religion, and so forth. So yeah, I imagine they all these are branches on the same tree.
Yeah, you're right. Like, going back to what I was saying before, there's just like these preoccupations that seem to come up. You only need to read, something I suppose we both study, so literature, for example, from any kind of period in time, you see that the same kind of concerns, same kind of fears, and the same preoccupations that people have just occur over and over again, and they're conditioned by whatever historical or societal period they occur in. But the same things that, as simple as the same things that scare people, take death, for example, I think has been a precursor for a whole set of beliefs or whatever.
I think it also amounts to the time you live in. I mean, I don't know if you've read Dennis Wheatley's The Devil in All His Works. In that book, he was explaining that things like hypnotherapy at one point was devil worship. It was considered to be devil worship, and yet now it's a technique for actually helping people.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Neil?
Which part?
Any of it.
Well, you know my beliefs. I was just clicking on to what Andy was saying there about evidence of the collective unconscious. We are all connected in some way by an invisible energy, which is what I believe in. So we all have a collective in some part. But just going back on the religious side of things, I mean, when I worked for the church, to see the difference between my belief and the church belief, and the way they dealt with things, it's completely different. But you do get crossovers, and there are some things that are quite sort of similar, especially in sort of the exorcism role, But you will get these crossovers. But there's not many religious cultures out there, But if you look at every single religious culture, they're all based on the same thing. They all have a grounding. They all have something that is built on. So there are very much similarities. But again, not being a religious person, I can't really sort of quote on that.
Yeah, it's like Steve just said there. 200 years ago, you would have been burnt to the stake for what we do.
I would have probably been burnt at the stake sort of 30 years ago. The way things were, it was still very sort of secretive 30 years ago. Never mind, 200 years ago. I mean, even today, to this day, we're still working under the Witchcraft Act. Still got to abide by it. So.
Well, can I just quickly add to that if you fly several hundred miles to the east, you'd probably still be burned at the stake for what you did. Just say that. The world hasn't moved on that much,
No. I actually think it's quite privileged that we have a Western perspective where we can sit and talk casually, like as we are doing today on this radio show, about these kind of issues.
Well, I must admit, going back to you're saying to the east, there was we've heard stories about people being burnt as witches, and there was a time when that girl was burnt, and the government was saying we've got to move beyond that.
And I don't think we should trivialise this. I think there's some absolutely terrible atrocities that go on in places like Africa, for example, where witchcraft does result in some pretty horrific things that take place. So I think, again, I like to link all this together. So going back to talking about mockery or skepticism or the way in which we're going to work in this documentary, it's a real privilege for us, and we realise this, that we can talk so liberally about different beliefs, and we can talk about things like the paranormal in a way that invites discussion and doesn't invite some of the kind of terrible atrocities that it would do, like I said, 200 miles to the east or in somewhere like Africa. So we feel that's a real privilege that we can talk to you guys in this kind of way.
It's good to share things as well, so and what we do. What do you reckon, Neil?
Oh, definitely. It's got to be shared. It's got to be shared, and just talking about, you're on about sort of witchcraft there and how things can be brought through and harming people and things like that. There's something that I've seen today. I mean, I always talk about this, about people who are coming on the scene now as self-professed mediums. I mean, I seen a guy come up today, advertised himself as a well-renowned medium, and I know the guy, and it's an absolute, it's a joke. You know, this guy's taking money off people. You know, and the guy can't even spell, never mind say his own name. You know, so it's frustrating sometimes, but you know, we need some kind of sort of governing body somewhere that you know, sort of regulates this.
I've noticed there what Andy's put, that there's been a couple of cases in London of young African children dying because they thought the child was possessed. There was a spate of that, wasn't there, a few years ago where they found a child dismembered?
Yes, there was.
Know, and
I mean, they
bringing the culture over to here on their beliefs. You know.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, I think we should be like really careful about it. I mean, I don't know if those stories are true. They very well might be if they've been in the national media.
Yeah,
and I think we should be very careful, like, not to aim these aim these kind of instances at particular ethnic groups. I think that's a really dangerous thing to do.
It is, but we can only go by the ones that are reported.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, one of the ones he was talking about there, the parents were actually went to jail.
Yeah, well, very well. No, that might be the case.
On that particular case, but I do agree that it's not only the African race; it's spread right across.
If people have got that belief and they want to, you know, carry on with it, take Romania for instance.
Mind you, having said that, these particular African people that did this particular one, they were Christians.
Yeah, they were. But take
I think the point isn't something should stress something Osman feel very strongly about, that you know, these kind of extremes of belief have nothing to do with ethnicity or religion. No. You know, absolutely nothing to do with that. I think they're just manifestations of extreme ends of belief, which really kind of contributes to why we feel that this kind of liberal discussion about these areas is really particularly important.
Like, take for instance Romania. Yeah.
Yep.
Some of them still believe in vampires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there was a case where they were put to prison, where they dug up their relatives.
Yeah, they only got about 6 months.
Oh yeah, and to them they desecrated, you know, the graves.
Yeah.
But it's what they believe in, and you can't moan at anybody.
Yeah, they actually dug up their relatives, chopped the head off, and staked the body.
Yeah.
I would moan at them for
Yeah,
that.
but
I mean, they were doing it because they believed it would stop them from coming back.
Yeah.
And they got charged with desecration. That's all.
Yeah.
And he got 6 months. But to his village where he came from, he was a hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because of the belief, it's still there.
Yeah. So as I say, we're not on about belief as in belief as such, but we're on about what people do believe in when it comes to the evil side of it. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean, Neil?
Well, the thing, you know, something that you've got to really think about here is that there are a lot of beliefs out there, and different beliefs or different religions or different cultures, they deal with the paranormal in different ways. They all have their own set ways of dealing with it. But the thing to remember here is what we know about the paranormal is very, very small. We only know the tip of the iceberg. We don't know a great deal about it. We're only just sort of coming up to a pinnacle now where we're starting to get more evidence, and we're producing equipment to get this evidence, and you know, so it's only been in the sort of last 30 years that things have started jumping up the way they have. But even that, you know, we only know a very, very small amount about the paranormal. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen and witnessed and been through is it's humongous. You know, it's huge. You know, but that's my own personal. You know, that's my own personal stuff. You know, that wasn't shared by anybody. That was just shared by me and the spiritual stuff that I've been through. But if everybody went through that, then you know we'd have such a massive belief system on our hands. But what I'm saying is,
I'm not going to repeat what's been written on the WAS name, but yes, it is. Obviously, he's put a link on there about.
Yeah, well,
some
you know,
of it, but
I can understand in some ways, you know, that some African cultures they deal with it in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's their belief. You know, there's not a great deal that we can do about that apart from, you know, protecting the children 24/7, which can't be done. But from what I'm saying is, you know, the paranormal can be very, very dangerous if not handled in the correct manner. And if people are going to mess around with it and take it for granted, you know, that's when they start getting into trouble. You know, and the amount of stuff that I've done in the past where I've had to, you know, get rid of bad things, or you know, I've seen some really, really bad things involving children, and it shocks me because it's been the actual family that have brought this stuff in by doing stupid things. So we've just got to be careful. It's very, very dangerous.
And I must stress that even though it has been put in the media, sometimes the media do get it wrong.
Well, the media,
embellish.
they can hype things up sometimes. But
I think
not get half the facts.
I mean, how many times have you seen a big banner headline?
Yeah.
And when you actually read the story, it's got nothing to do with the headline at all.
Yeah, but I mean, just reading into that story, I do know that the African culture do deal with exorcisms in that way. Yeah. Which is, it's a very, very sorry thing, to be honest. But
I think what comes out of this discussion is that I think there's abuses of belief and treatment of the paranormal in every culture. My dad's from kind of deepest, darkest rural Ireland, and it wasn't very long ago that I think perhaps the way exorcism was treated in the Catholic Church would be seen as abuse or a dangerous practice in certain ways. So I think what's very evident is it's kind of regardless of race and culture. I think the paranormal, when it's treated in a social context, especially when you deal with things like exorcism, can be dangerous.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem you have with any paranormal is when you start to bring religion in it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You have to keep, if you can, religion out of it, because it brings in preconceived ideas.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. If you're dealing with the spirit, forget the fact, I'm a Christian, I'm Roman Catholic, it must be a demon.
Yeah.
That brings in preconceived ideas, and you have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
You have to work from scratch and with a complete open mind to find out what may or may not be there.
I think moving away from this, I think that's a really positive thing that we've got from our kind of time with your guys, that you approach it from a really open perspective, investigations, and you do try and be as open as possible. So I think that's something that we.
Osman, you wanted to say something?
No, I was going to say, not to be an alarmist, and just to kind of contribute to something which Neil just said.
Yeah.
It's not only the paranormal which kind of risks being abused and then kind of turned into something which is nasty and evil. Belief itself suffers from this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is no kind of immoral or outrageous behaviour that can't be excused on the basis of, well, that's my belief. And I think this is all part of a kind of deeper fabric of kind of not only the things which we believe, but the reasons why we believe them. Yeah. And a lot of the times those reasons tend to be innate ones, they're eternal ones. We'll continue believing them. And in areas which are deprived of certain resources, such as education, clean water, and with miles of poverty in every direction, of course these beliefs are going to be prevalent. Yeah. Of course they are, because it's much easier to call an injured child a demon than it is to heal the child. It's much easier to kind of, this is where the idea of scapegoating comes from.
You don't have to look anywhere in the world to see that kind of deprivation manifests extremism.
Yeah, this is how the term scapegoat came into use, which was in tribes. What would happen is they would cast all of the sins of the people onto a goat, and then send it off wandering into the desert to die of starvation, and that would be the scapegoat. It would cleanse our sins, and oftentimes with these kind of you hear of child sacrifice. Well, this is what it is.
Yeah,
it's essentially the same principle. They are ridding themselves of certain feelings of guilt and shame and enforcing it onto something which is quite innocent. It can be excused.
Right, okay. Well, thanks a lot, Neil. I'm going to leave you to the rest of your evening now and do your own work. All right.
No Thanks very much.
Tomorrow.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.
See you guys soon.
Right.
So that was Neil.
On that, somewhere along the line there, I find it hard to believe, and I don't know whether you have a similar thing in the Islamic religion, but in the Catholic religion in particular, because I say that because he doesn't tend to do a lot of what do you call it? I forgot what it's called now. Going to see the priest and giving your sins out and getting
confession.
Doing a confession and getting your Hail Marys to. I say 4 Hail Marys, everything's fine. I don't get it.
Yes.
How can saying 4 Hail Marys?
It's too easy.
Excuse what you've done.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
It's way too easy.
So how will you sum up these jinns and everything then?
Well, I think that they are a very interesting solution to a problem which was identified by the religion. And the problem was, how do you explain the unexplainable? Because the world of the jinn is Islam's answer to the world of the supernatural. It's the world of the unseen. And the way they deal with it in that religion is they say, well, the world of the unseen, the world of the paranormal, the world of fortune tellers, the world of demons, etc. This is the world which runs parallel to ours. It's invisible to us. And every now and again we get a glimpse of this world. It's nothing to fear, unless you're not a Muslim. In which case, there is a lot to fear. But yeah, I suppose that would be the answer to it, is that the idea of jinn really is a solution to a problem which is identified by the belief.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Osman.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
Well researched, I think. There.
Yeah, it was.
And thank you to Osman's mum and dad.
Yeah, big thank you to my mother, who did sit down. And I offered countless invites to different kinds of jinns to come and fight me in my own home.
Yeah.
Which my mum was not happy about.
I bet she
wasn't. But yeah, a big thank you to her for helping.
I don't know. Well, if you've only just joined us, we're talking to Livestock Productions, and Livestock are actually filming us as we are recording this while we're talking to them. We invited also them to be here to find out what they're doing and everything, and also to speak to Osman about his beliefs in the paranormal as well as Nick. So we thank him for that. We've had Neil on the line, which we will thank him for. And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick break for the paranormal events, and then we're going to speak to Alison Wynne-Ryder. So we'll see you after these few words.
We've got all the news right here. Don't go away.
Fed up of wading through the activities and events that other advertisers include? Find just what you're looking for at paranormaleventsforyou.com. Your one-stop paranormal directory.
On the 26th of April, Wasp Paranormal are going to Fort Horsted in Chatham in Kent. On the 18th of May, Haunted Places Paranormal are off to Hayes Library, formerly Hayes in Kent. On the 25th of May, Club Zero are going to Mill Street Barracks in St Helens. On the weekend of the 1st of June, there's a Mind, Body and Spirit Fair at the new Epic Centre, Lincolnshire Showground, Grange de Lings in Lincoln. On the 7th of June, Twilight Paranormal are going to Dolby House, Ilkeston in Derbyshire. On the 7th of June, UK Shadow Seekers, in conjunction with Simply Ghost Nights, are going to Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. On the 15th of June, Haunted Places Paranormal are doing the Canterbury Tales at St Margaret Street in Canterbury. On the 22nd of June, UK Shadow Seekers are going somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
So check out the one-stop paranormal directory for more investigations and events, available now. Paranormaleventsforyou.com also offers banner advertising for only £10 per year. See our website for more details. Paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. Yeah, good evening. Welcome back to the show. And online with us on Skype, we have our very good friend, Alison Wynne-Ryder. Good evening, Alison.
Good evening, Suzanne. How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine. Tired. Meeting myself coming backwards. Other than that, I'm fine.
Oh, God.
And then the dog decided it wanted to go out for a wee just as you said you were ready. I thought, brilliant timing.
So where are you actually calling us from?
Calling you from Cheshire.
Cheshire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what have you been up to?
Oh, gosh, I've been up to a lot. I do one-on-one clairvoyant readings. I've been doing Skype readings.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing angel tutoring, psychic development tutoring. And my book, The Quirky Medium, has now been nominated for the People's Book Prize.
Oh,
so I'm really proud about that.
Brilliant.
So if everybody's listening, could you please vote for me?
Oh, well, all the best for that. So,
thank you.
Well, we're going to be talking a few bits tonight, and we've got a few people on, which is really, really good. Whether they're going to call you for a reading is another matter, but I know Nick here wants a reading.
Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Nice
How
to
are
meet
you?
you. How are you?
You're
I'm
being
okay.
filmed as well.
Yeah, you've got a camera. Osman's using the camera over my shoulder there, so thank you for agreeing to this.
It's all right. I'm used to cameras.
Okay.
Right, can you just tell them a bit about yourself, Alison?
Yeah, sure. I'm a clairvoyant medium, as if you haven't already guessed with how I introduced myself before. I'm co-host on the TV show Rescue Mediums, which is filmed in Canada, and it airs across different countries across the world. And it also airs periodically on CBS Reality in the UK as well. As I said previously, I'm also an author, and I'm a Reiki master as well.
Reiki master?
Yeah, and I teach psychic development and angel tutoring, so I'm a busy lady.
Okay, well, I'm quite excited about this, because I don't know if you know, but Sue gave me a tarot card reading at the weekend. So it was totally new to me, so I'm quite excited about this as well. So
yeah. So what kind of readings do you do? Can you just explain?
How are they different from what Sue might have done with the tarot card reading? That'd be interesting for us to kind of find out about.
Right. Well, I always say to people that every clairvoyant is different. We all do things in a different way. I can't obviously on Skype, but I generally use the divination tool of psychometry, which is holding something that's an item belonging to you, either a piece of jewellery or a mobile phone or your keys, something that's got your energies on it.
Okay.
And once I've made a connection with Spirit, I get messages direct from Spirit, but I do also use the cards as well. So if people come to me, they get a good hour's reading. The cards generally tell them what's coming in the future. The stuff that I get really unusual things for people that don't make sense sometimes, and then I get really good feedback after saying, "Oh my God, such and such has come in," but it doesn't always come in the way that the person thinks it's going to come in. I'm also given conversations that people have had, or if they had a conversation about a particular topic, they give me that. So yeah, it's I do my readings in quite an unusual way, but I've got people that come back regularly, and they pass my name on to others, so they obviously enjoy them. So
I'm sure I will, as long as you don't predict my impending death, which is my concern with Sue's reading. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
So what kind of cards do you use, Alison?
I've got a mixture. I've got about 7 decks here in front of me.
Wow.
But I don't use them all. I always intuitively know which deck to use with the client that I'm doing the reading for. But my favourites are there's Angel Tarot and Psychic Tarot that I use regularly. Sometimes I'll use Angel Guidance cards as well, because with being an angel tutor and an angel healer, I work with the angels as well.
Yeah.
So it's, and if I've got little tiny granddaughters, and one of them's really psychic. I don't know who she takes after, but she likes looking at my unicorn cards because they're really soft and gentle cards and they're safe for children. But normally I wouldn't do a reading for anybody under the age of 16 years old. So
yeah. That's quite interesting. Why is that? That's quite interesting.
It's just if the parents were with them and the parents said it was okay, then I would, but I tend to use gentle cards. And adults that come to me for readings, I don't know why, just get a little bit scared and apprehensive about what I'm going to give them.
Yeah.
And I just think it's sort of a safety mechanism of mine. I don't want to sort of frighten a child to death, when I'm doing a reading for them. And if they're under the age of 16, I feel that, it should be with parental consent. So that's just how I feel. Other people may feel differently. Well, that's how I tend to deal with things anyway.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you.
So are you ready for your reading?
I am indeed.
Okay, where you go then, Alison?
Right, so I'm doing a reading for you now, am I, Nick?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. And you've got quite a few, because I just need to ask this, because I've got a message I feel it's somebody that's listening in. I know you said you've got quite a few listeners.
Yeah.
The person may or may not want to come forward tonight, but I believe that they will eventually. So I'll go back to that after, because I've had a gentleman with me, and he's given me a lot of information. So I feel that it's somebody somebody that's listening in. He said his son is listening in, and his the mother passed away recently as well, and he wanted him to know that they were together. So I've got a few names and dates and things that I feel will link into that.
Right. Okay. So that's for
I'll
anyone.
do that.
All right. Let us know on the chat room. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give more information about that later anyway. So
unless you want to get it done now, it's up to you. Because I've just had someone say, "Oh my God, that's me."
Okay. Do you want me to do it now?
Are you ready for this?
Are you okay, Nick, if I give this information?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
First of all, Joe, this is definitely you, yes?
Okay. The man that was with me, am I okay to just say what I...
Hang up a minute, Alison. He's saying what's Dad's saying. He said 100%. Do you want to call in, Joe? And speak to Alison yourself? If you want to, you can give us a call on the landline.
Maybe we should do
right. Okay, so you can't right now. So are you ready to hear what Alison says? Okay, carry on, Alison, he said.
Okay. Well, I have to say that with this gentleman, there were lovely energies about him. I knew somebody was coming forward because it went really, really hot, which is one of the indications. And he said his son is listening in, and he said it's his anniversary soon, and I don't know if he means it's his son's anniversary or it would be his anniversary soon coming in. Mum passed away recently, and he wanted his son to let him know that they're both together. She's saying thank you for the roses, so I don't know if there's been whether roses were sort of left when she passed over, or whether they planted a rose bush or something in memory of her. But the gentleman's saying look out for a surprise through the letterbox, as if there's something that's going to be coming through the letterbox of the son. The number 10 is significant, and by this I don't know if it's the 10 on a door or the 10th month or the 10th of the month. The 13th of May is also significant. Now, that might link into the anniversary coming up soon, I don't know, but the things are quite sporadic and I'm not always giving them all one after the other. And I could hear the song, You'll Never Walk Alone, and I don't know if it's the song that's significant or it's the words, as in Dad saying to the son, because I feel the son's been going through quite a bit, and I mean obviously to lose his father and then to lose his mother quite recently is enough for anybody, but I believe there's been other things going on, and You'll Never Walk Alone to me just says it all. There's a middle name of Elizabeth is significant, and I've got a few other names as well. I've got Alice, Tom, and Mary, and somebody who's a bin man that's a significant, that's what they do as a job, or that's what they did as a job, or something very similar to that. I've also got the name Ben linking in, but I don't know if Ben's a person. I know that sounds a bit daft, but I get a lot of pets through and you know, pet names and stuff as well. So if he does recognise anything in this, then get him to confirm it, and then what I'll do is I'll link in and see if I'll get anything else. Okay. There's a Scottish connection as well with this family, but I don't know how far back I'm going with this as well. And November is a very significant time for the son. Okay.
Yeah, go on, Alison.
Okay. And he's been having really vivid dreams, and I feel that one of his parents will, if they haven't already, will come forward and give him a message in the dreams. It'll be as if he is just, as if they are there. And that's because when people pass over, they will visit us in our dreams because we accept that, because we're on a different conscious level.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen as well.
Right, okay.
So that's all I'm getting at the moment, because he's gone now, but that's not to say he will come back.
Well, Joe's come on and said...
I feel that the son who's listening in is going through a lot, but there are also changes around him and he's feeling quite unsettled. But I feel that the changes are changes for the better. And there's also a house I don't know if he's moving house or somebody very close around him's moving house, but there's a for sale sign, so I know that the house has either been sold or there's a house that's going to be sold.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Well, he did come on and say that it's his birthday this weekend.
Oh,
okay,
right.
And he is a massive Liverpool fan.
We'll never walk alone.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I think you can take all that. Can't you, Joe? Are you happy with all that? So, okay.
Right, Nick, sorry, you've
Brilliant,
had to wait for reading, haven't you?
Okay, yeah, no, wait. So, Ozzy's, if you could just give us 1 second, because Ozzy's going to get the camera out now so you can film my reading.
Oh, no!
Alison said, thank you very much, by the way. Joe said, Alison, thank you very much.
He's welcome.
Yeah.
He's welcome.
What's happened with your light? We can, you're in the dark a bit there.
Do you want me to put the light on?
Yeah, if you can do, then I can see your face.
It's just a bit glary. It's quite a bright light, but we'll see how we go.
See how we go. Okay.
Now, Alison.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Alison, I don't know if the art can be condensed down into a shorter time, but Oz has just given me a tap and said to tell you we've got 10 minutes on the camera, so we're going to try and get as much as we can.
Oh, it won't take that long, will it?
Okay, right, okay.
Off you go,
Alison. No, it'll be a short reading, because when I do quite a few readings over on radio blogs and so forth, and they tend to be very quick. They work with me very quick. Nick, I can't hear you very well. Could you sort of speak up or get a bit nearer to the mic?
Can you hear me now?
Because spirit work on voice vibrations, so if I'm asking you questions or talking to you, I need to hear your voice clearly, because I can't do psychometry, obviously, because I'm on the radio.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Alison?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. Right, okay. They're telling me there's a marriage coming up soon. Is this you or somebody close around you?
No, well, I don't know. No, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Can I share these? Can I?
Not yet.
No, okay, right. So I'm not allowed to say anything. So not that I know of. Not that I know of.
You're not allowed to say anything.
Do you want it to tell you?
No, not yet. No,
okay, no, we can talk. Yeah.
And for some reason, I can see like a little Irish leprechaun jumping around. So I don't know what the significance of that. It's normally like a little lucky mascot. Is there an Irish connection somewhere?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wait till the end, Alison, to tell you about these. I'll tell you all the details.
All right, okay. Just let me go with it.
Okay.
Then. Okay. What I'll do is I'll start with the cards, Nick. Okay, and then as they're carrying on giving me information, then I will give that to you.
Okay.
So what I generally do is, because I do Skype readings as well for people, so I'm shuffling the cards, and what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. Think of something that you either want an answer to, or if you want a general reading, just ask for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and just tell me when to stop shuffling and I'll pick the cards for you.
Okay, stop now, Alison.
Okay. You've got Grandad. There's a Grandad in spirit around you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm assuming it's Grandad rather than Great Grandad, because he said Grandad's here. And he's around you. I feel that he's helping to orchestrate something for you, because there's a lot of different things that you're going to be going through as well. I feel that you're going into a new area of work in some respects, whether it's going to be an add-on to what you already do, or whether it's going to be something different, I don't know, but that's what he's talking about. I feel he's going to help to open some, new doors for you. Okay. I've got the name Bill as well. Bill William.
Okay.
And also, I don't know what this is, but I just heard Cassie. I don't know if it's a person or I've just heard what sounds like Cassie. Bear in mind as well that information that I give you, you may recognise some that's around you now, but because I'm clairvoyant, I get a lot of stuff coming in. So if this can be recorded, or if you could get somebody to write it down for you, because it's a good idea to tick them off as things come in. Okay.
Hopefully the name of an attractive wife to go with that marriage, maybe.
Pardon?
Hopefully the name of an attractive wife to go with that marriage, maybe.
If it's not you, then it's going to be significant.
Okay.
Somebody around you. Yeah. Okay. Right. Have you have you had too much going on at once? Just lately, Nick.
Well, I'm always busy. Yeah.
Okay. Too much going on at once. There's also a decision that you've got to make. There's something that's coming in that you've got to make a decision on, and I feel that you are very intuitive. I don't think you realise how intuitive you are. I feel that you're going to make the right decision. You'll go with your heart and your gut feeling.
Thank you.
But also, it's time, because you are working hard. It's time to sort of let your hair down and have a good laugh and sort of have more of a playful approach to things as well.
Okay.
Why do I keep seeing boats around you? I can see lots of boats. I don't know if this is somewhere you go to or you're going to, or it's the boat that's significant, or around your grandfather that's come through. I don't know, but I'm just going to give you that.
Okay. Thank you.
You need to honour your commitments. So if this isn't around you now, then coming in, sort of, to be committed to, I feel, either a situation or a person. So be committed to that person, and also to get things done. You've got a lot going on around you, but I feel there's quite a few things that need boxing off.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a few things going on that some are sort of left open, and you have to keep going back to them and sort of dealing with them as well. This is really weird, because I said how intuitive you are, and this is talking about psychic insights and events behind the scenes. So a lot going on behind the scenes. And I feel your granddad has got a lot to do with this. Like I say, he's orchestrating something for you. I feel that there's going to be a few surprises around the corner, and he's going to have, quite a lot to do with that.
Okay.
Also, releasing fears that do sometimes hold you back. Maybe something from the past that not haunts you, but maybe you need to let go of now and release, so that you can sort of move on. Okay. Now, it's either some challenging information that's around you now or coming in, but I know that you'll deal with this in the right way.
Okay.
So there may be a few delays or changes to plans that you've tried to sort of set in motion, and you'll be feeling a bit sort of frustrated with this. But things happen for a reason, and it's all about divine timing. Things happen, within the right time. Sometimes, that there has to be, how can I put it? If things don't work out at the time that you feel that they should, if they don't, then there's a reason for that, because that will lead on to something else, if you're with me. Okay. And it may be like different people coming in, or different situations, or, different offers and so forth coming in as well. Okay. And you're being asked to look for the truth as well, not just in others, but with yourself. So look for the truth within.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to do these as well. Just going to do these.
Let's have a quick Rosamund.
I've got the name David around you as well.
Okay.
David. Okay. Bear in mind that the names I give you, there can either be people around you now, on the earth plane, or in spirit, or coming in. And as I say, I get a lot of names, and I'm spot on my names, so it could be somebody coming in that you're going to meet.
Okay.
Through work or through social, in social circles. Right, you're going to tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching. Yeah. Go on. Stop now. Then. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
I was having to think about what you've been saying, trying to think through.
I feel my chest's getting quite tight, so I don't know if this is somebody that passed over to the spirit world that had chest problems or heart problems, or this is somebody on the earth plane that maybe is asthmatic or has problems in that area, you know, the lung area. That's what they're talking about. Okay. And if I said Alan to you, I've got the name Alan as well being significant.
Okay.
Okay. Have you been feeling a bit bored with things lately?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because this card is, I would say this is sort of more in the past, because these work on past, present and future. So it's discontentment and boredom. And I do feel, though, that you're striving for something else, that you're looking for something else, and I do feel that this will come in. Like I say, it could be an add-on to what you're doing or something completely different.
Okay.
Okay. But you are being asked to be thankful and grateful for the foundations and the achievements, you know, the things that you've set up, because, you know, you've done really well with your life, and, you know, you've come far. That's what that card is all about.
Okay, thank you.
And that I feel that the wheels are in motion, definitely, for something now that, you know, your granddad or your great-granddad, whoever this gentleman is talking about, because it's going to be triumphant success coming in.
Okay.
And I feel there's going to be a lot of travel. You're going to be moving around, you know, a lot of travel, you know, across the world.
Okay.
And I do think it's linked to your job. Okay. Okay. Would you like an angel card?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You can have an angel card, can you? Okay. I've gone really hot again.
Okay, go on. Stop shuffling.
Okay. That was quick.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I was paying attention then. No, that wasn't before, but no, I was watching closely.
Okay. Okay. So, are there children around you?
Yeah, I do have quite a few nieces and nephews.
Okay. Because this card is saying that, you know, you really do care about children, and it's all about the children that are around you, bringing out the child in you. Everybody has an inner child, and they don't get. Most of us, our inner child doesn't get an airing much, because we just shove them away and we get on with our adult life. And, you know, it's all about the innocence of a child, and sort of enjoying life and looking at life through innocent eyes. And we lose that, don't we, as we get older.
Yeah, no, I do spend a lot of time with my nieces and nephews. Very close family.
Yeah. And they keep you young. Well, you are young anyway, but they keep you.
Well, what are you saying, Alison? I was hoping I'm looking sprightly on the Skype camera. But no, I do look after them a fair bit, and do like to do things with them.
There's one of them in particular, though, that comes out with some corkers.
Oh, definitely.
One of them in particular, yeah.
Yeah.
That just, you sort of, where's that come from, or what on earth made them say that? And it does make you laugh, but it also makes you think, you know, they've been here before, you know, they're sort of an old soul type of thing. But this card is saying that this is the angel speaking. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to the children who need you. But I also believe that this is children coming in as well. So.
Okay. I don't know about that so soon, but thank you very much. Very interesting.
And before you go,
yeah,
Tom, the name Tom.
The name Tom. That's very interesting. Well, so can I give you a bit of, not feedback, but maybe tell you a little bit about it, because I wanted to keep some of the things. So another really interesting experience for me. So thank you very much for that, Alison. First, that was very kind of you. But the first thing is, I think a lot of the things you said, I mean, there's a few things didn't match, obviously, but a lot of the things you said, I think, were broadly similar to the things Sue picked up on in the tarot reading. I know she was nodding away frantically at the side of me there. So two things. So of course we have to maintain our skepticism, but I'll be completely honest about the things that match up. So the Irish leprechaun. It's very funny because one of my very good friends, Alex, is in the chat room for the KTPF at the minute. He's listening in, And when he said about the leprechaun jumping around, he kind of went mad with typing because I went to Dublin with him about 2 weekends ago for a kind of a lads' weekend away, and I did consider getting a shamrock, a Guinness, or a leprechaun tattooed on my bum cheek. It didn't happen, but that's total truth. That's completely true. And the other thing from the chat room, in fact, there was a bit of debate that was sparked then by my friend Alex, my friend Joel. One of our best friends, Tom's, he's in London at the minute. He's got an interview to be a clinical psychologist. That's our friend Tom. So they were trying to ask, could you predict whether he'll get it or not? But it's quite interesting. You picked up on the name, so perhaps we should take that as a positive sign that Tom is gonna get the place. So 2 really interesting things that you picked up on there for, and very similar to what Sue picked up. So I'll maintain my skepticism, but again, really interesting. I really appreciate it. So thank you for your time, Alison.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Okay.
Sue.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've also, because I actually wrote a load of stuff down that I feel is either for the people that are around you in the studio as well, or people listening in. You know, I do like my little prediction list before I meet anybody or go on anywhere. And there's some very unusual things I have to say, to put it mildly. So, you know, and again, it could be conversations that have been commented that people have had, or places that people have been, or they go into, and so on. So, you know, I'll read those out, you know, when you're ready. Is there anybody waiting for a reading?
There is. I'm going to try this. I've never done this before. I'll probably have to turn off the video feed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have got somebody else on that's interested. I'll see if I can get hold of her and bring her into the conversation. If I can. Add to group call. See if I can do this. How do I do this? Do a Skype call. Is that going to work? Right. Okay. Are you
Good
there,
evening,
Aggie?
everyone.
Aggie, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Can you hear her okay, Alison?
I can, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, just about. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, I'll leave you to it. Yes, can you hear me?
Ooh.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, Alison?
Yeah, just about. I can just about hear you, yeah. Are you looking for a general reading?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think that would be the best.
Right, that's fine. Okay. And have you had a reading before?
I did have, but that was years and years ago, and I was absolutely terrified after it, and I haven't had it since. And I have to say, I am so anxious, and I'm shaking right now.
Right. Can I just put your mind at rest? There's no need to be frightened at all. It's just as if I'm having a chat with you. I like to put my clients at ease and make them feel comfortable. So there's no need to be frightened about anything that I'm going to say to you. And you know, I just want you to, like I said, I just want you to relax and enjoy it. Are you happy to do that?
Yes, of course I am. Go on, Alison.
Okay. Right, now before I carry on, I don't know if you've heard the show up to now. If I give you any names or situations that are around you, just let me know, just say, yes, I understand that, so that I know that I'm working with the present. Anything that I give you that you don't understand, then let me know that, because we know that that's coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm going to start doing the cards, and obviously I have to move pretty quickly because it's going to be literally a couple of minutes. So these are taster readings. It's not like when I do an hour reading when I've got a client in front of me. So I'm shuffling the cards. I want you to tell me when to stop, and I'll pick the cards for you.
Please stop now.
Okay? Right, okay. Could do with some music at this point. People listening, and they'll be like, oh God, here she goes again, picking the cards and bored now listening to this. Right, okay. Right. Right, now then, have you been feeling a little bit like you can't move forward? You're going round in circles, you feel that, you know, things need to get done, but you just haven't got the energy to box them off.
Yes.
Okay, because basically what they're saying with this is it's a false sense of entrapment, and by that they mean that there are things that you can do to help yourself move forward so that you're not in that situation anymore. So, and a lot of it is to do with, thought patterns. If your thought patterns are negative or you're worrying about something, then that can sort of cause blockages, which will stop us moving forward as quickly as we would do normally. Okay. But what they're saying is, it is a temporary pause in action. Okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Can you keep sort of, I do need to hear your voice because Spirit do work on voice vibration. So when I'm saying okay, can you answer me clearly and then...
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it all makes sense, so...
Okay, that's fine. So it's going to be a temporary pause in action, but and it is unnecessary worry. So really, you need to box off everything that you need to do in order to cut the ties with the past, and then you're able to move forward. Then, okay. And it is as if you feel that you're at a stalemate because it's either that you can't make a decision, or you feel you can't make a decision. And basically brushing it under the carpet. So basically, really, you need to get things done, as I say, and then, you'll be able to sort of move on. And I do feel that new doors will open for you, okay, once you've got to that stage where you can make your decisions and you can deal with things, okay. There's going to be... you're going to see the truth of the situation if you haven't already. And I do feel that you've had a challenging start regarding something, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, okay. But you are going to have really a lot of really good ideas that come to you, and I do feel that the angels are helping you with this. So any ideas that sort of pop into your head, or just being in a certain place and bumping into a person who can help to open those doors for you, all those things are divinely orchestrated. There's no such thing as coincidence. They're all synchronistic events that our guides and the angels put on our life path to make us sit up and notice. And it's one of those where the most wonderful things that happen to us in our lives happen when we least expect it. So, just basically what they're trying to say here is expect nothing and you will get something, all right? But you do need to box everything off. And I know I keep going back to that, but that's so important. Okay. Again, they're talking again about brilliant new ideas that will lead to success. So, there is light at the end of the tunnel coming in for you, but you are being asked to have confidence in yourself as well. Do you understand that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there will be a happy outcome, so things will start working out for you, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Do you want me to do some more cards for you?
Yeah, if you could, please.
Okay.
Can you stop now, please?
Okay. Right, what they're telling me here is that you're stronger than you think you are, okay? I feel that you are really resilient, but you do give yourself a hard time. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So, in other words, a lot of the feeling of, the stagnant feelings around you is you trapped in fear because you feel that, you can't move on either because of a certain person or people or a situation. And you also need to be grounding. Do you understand what I mean by grounding?
Yes.
Right, so you do need to ground because there's a lot of red around this reading, which red is about grounding. So make sure that you do your grounding and you do your white light around yourself to help you. Do you go into haunted properties?
No.
Right, okay.
At least I'm not aware that I'm going to.
Right, okay. Well, basically, there is somewhere that you're going to go, and I do feel that you're going to absolutely love it, but I'm not saying that it's going to be haunted, but it's going to be a really old place. It's going to be really, really interesting, and basically, what they're saying to you is, make sure that you do ground and you do put the white light around yourself. But I would do that every day anyway, whether it doesn't matter where you go, because what drains me the most is when I go into really crowded places. I live, it's sort of quite countrified where I live, and if I go to London, say if I go to London for a day or two, I'm just absolutely shattered because it's sort of drained me because there's so many people and so many energies, and I feel that you're quite sensitive as well. So, if you ground and you put the white light around yourself, then it'll stop people taking your energy. That's what that's all about, okay?
Yeah.
There are new things coming in around you. I can see lots of butterflies, which is for transformation. So a lot of changes for the better once you've boxed off everything that you need to box off. Okay. And I'm just going to pick up one of these cards for you as well. Right. You've been hurt, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes. And I've got something here. I don't know if this is for you, but I've actually got this written down, but it's sort of like really sort of jumping out at me here. And how they actually gave it to me was, you've been mixed something by somebody. Do you understand what I mean by that?
No, I'm not sure.
As in, somebody hasn't been the person that you thought they were. And, they may not have been sort of telling you the truth with things. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I feel that the hurt comes in. That's what they're telling me. Right, okay. Right, okay. Has anybody told you that you're a healer before?
To be honest, actually, on one of the shows we had with KTPF, I had one of my dreams, which was translated by the guest, and that's what he said, that there is loads of healing around me.
There is. There's a lot of healing. I feel that there's healing in general around you. You are very sensitive, but I feel that, there's a lot of protection around you. But you're also, I feel that you have healing energies yourself. So, as in you're a natural healer, and I feel that you're going to help a lot of other people. And so that you're going to heal yourself, but I feel that also you're going to help other people as well and heal those people. So a natural healer. So I don't know if that, like I say, whether that's come as a surprise, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. Hope that's been all right for you.
Yes, I am pretty amazed, I have to say, Alison. I mean, you couldn't get it any better, really. I am a really sensitive person. I always doubt myself. I'm going around in a circle with my job all the time, and it feels like it's never-ending story. I had the hard time, and I was hurt, and it's just unbelievable. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, please, can I just reiterate what I said before? If you do the grounding and you imagine that lovely white light around you, that will help you a lot. Because, as I say, it's not just people that are taking your energy, it's certain situations. So every day if you do that, that's going to help enormously so that you'll be able to move forward. Okay, and ask the angels to help you with this situation. Ask them to help you, to take your worries away and to guide you and give you the messages that they will give you messages so that they will help to guide you along your life's path. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And I've got the name. It sounds like the name Anne, either significant around you now or coming in. It's either Anne or Anna. Okay?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well it's coming in then if you can't take it at the moment. All right.
Okay then, Aggie. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much, guys, for the opportunity for having a reading. And Alison, thank you very much again.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Aggie.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, I think she's gone.
Okay.
Hopefully, if I've disconnected right. If not, can you disconnect, Aggie? So we've got one question for you, and also one possible small reading, if that's okay. And
that's fine.
Yeah, and also then predictions you mentioned. All right. So
yeah, I'll read those out when you're ready for me to read.
First of all, I have a question for you. Neil says he's walking into something massive tomorrow in the morning. So what thoughts do you have for him if you've got the time?
Sorry, I only heard part of what you said.
Did you miss me?
Because I can't see you, can I? Because I feel a bit...
Hold on, let me come back to you again for a minute.
Yeah.
Right, hold on. I feel a bit lost. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I just felt a bit...
Right,
I like to see the person's face.
Neil's just asked if it was possible, if you could sense what he's got something massive that he's walking into tomorrow in the morning, and he thought that maybe you might have some feeling for him of what thoughts you might have for him.
Right. Okay. I wish I'd have known this before I came on the show, because I like to link in and then get the messages direct from spirit. So
I could probably get him on the line. Do you want me to get him on the line to ask you himself?
I think I'd need to hear his voice. I mean, I could do...
Alison?
Yeah?
Do you want me to get him on the line after the next reading?
You can, but I can't make any promises because basically if it was... I like to link in, like when I've done I've done like my list of predictions before I came on the show, and I know that they're going to mean something to somebody.
No problem.
And, you know, it just depends, obviously, whether Spirit wants them to know at this point in time how it's going to go.
Okay, well, what we'll do is then, if we do John now, then, and then we find out what you had predicted, maybe that's the answer.
Yeah, they might. Well, there's some like really obscure things in here, but
okay.
Oh, hang on.
All right.
I've actually got. This is very
Hello?
much.
Hold on, John.
Thank you.
I can hear your voice now, John.
Right, this isn't the guy who wants the answer. This is somebody else. So
this is else. Right? Can I just say to the guy that wants the answer, who I need to? Is he on the line?
Not at the moment, but I can get him on the line in a minute.
Right, I just need to say I've got written down for somebody, and I'm wondering if this is for him. They've not given me an answer either way, but whatever this is, he's got a lot riding on it. He's got a lot riding on this, hasn't he? And he can't think of anything else at the moment.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It's a pity it's not him on the line that I can't hear his voice. Because there's going to be...
You might be able to hear his voice. I'll try again in a minute, but he did say yes. He just said yes, by the way.
Right, okay. So that's for him. So there might be some other stuff that I've got written down that could possibly link into what...
Right.
Not necessarily that, but it might sort of link into him sort of personally.
We'll find out after this next reading then, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you've got John on the line for you now. So
Hi, John.
Hello, Alison.
Hiya. Do you just want a general reading, John?
Yes, please.
Right, okay. What I'll do is I'll do the cards. I'm getting like really tired now because I've not had a break at all. Because I got in about 9:30 and I've come straight on the show, and I just I feel like I need a bit of a break. So what I'll do is I'll just do the cards, and then if Spirit gives me anything else on top of that, then I'll give that to you. Okay?
Okay, Alison, no problem.
Okay. Right, if I said the name Harry or Harold, can you take that?
Harry, yes.
Okay. It's me saying I'm doing the cards. They've just given me Harry or Harold quite clearly. Oh, gosh. And I'm going hot again now, so there's obviously somebody coming in around. And can you take the name Claire as well?
Yes.
Okay. Gosh, I've gone hot. There's somebody coming in really close here. And I'm getting this tight feeling across my chest again. Is this somebody around you? Because I thought it was around the Nick before, but I don't know. It keeps coming in, and I feel that I've got somebody around me, and it's a gentleman. Somebody that passed over with a heart problem keeps coming in around me. Heart problems or chest problems. Do you understand that, John?
I know someone that had heart problems but didn't pass with that.
Right, okay. But that was what they had when they were on the Earth plane, was it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Because I feel that that's what they're trying to give me, you know, to sort of pass on to you as confirmation that it's them. But I'm going to see if they can give me any more information. The guy, right, okay. Somebody who either smokes a pipe or smoked a pipe. Not many people now smoke a pipe, do they? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Right, okay. Is this linking into the guy that had chest problems when he was on the Earth plane? Or is this someone different?
Someone different.
Right, okay. Right. And why are they talking about a clothes shop? Who had a clothes shop or who has a clothes shop?
I don't know about a clothes shop.
Right, okay. I'm going to leave that one with you then, because that's something that's going to come in. It could be that somebody's going to be talking to you about it, that they're going into business, and that's going to be a part of it. Okay. And also, why am I getting Blackpool around you?
Don't know.
Right, okay. So either you're going to go, or there's going to be another sort of significant link in with that. Okay.
Yes.
Now, your dad, where's your dad?
He's in spirit.
Yeah, okay, because I feel that's who I've got with me. Because he's just said it's dad, but I have to be really careful because I could say it's your dad, and your dad could be on the Earth plane. Do you know what I mean? So I just have to take it very carefully. Okay,
yeah.
So it's your dad that's around you, all right?
Yes.
Okay. And the name Mary, does the name Mary link in?
No.
Right, okay. I feel that you will know Mary. I think when you go off here, you'll realise who Mary was. I think it'll click in with you who that was, because they keep repeating it, and if they repeat it, that means that the person that I'm doing the reading for should know who that is, or it will become, you know, evident, you know, over a short space of time.
Okay.
And I can see a large number 2 being significant. So either the second month or either the second month, which is February, or the second of the month, or number 2 on the door being significant. But number 2 is very significant around you, or will be. All right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to see if he sort of gives me anything else, because he's quite strong. He's coming in quite strong. There's a lot of pressure over my head as well. So somebody either has been suffering emotionally, or suffering with depression, or, you know, worrying a lot about things where I feel like it's sort of pressing down on my head. I feel like, you know, quite... I do feel quite depressed with this. Do you understand that?
I do, yes.
Okay. Is this you that I'm with this, or is this somebody around you?
It is me, yes.
Oh gosh, right, okay. Well, I'll send you some distant healing tonight to help with that.
Thank you.
Okay. But your dad is around you, and I feel that, you know, in a very protective way. And also his mother, your grandmother, she's in spirit, isn't she?
Yes.
Because they're together. Okay, she's there as well. Okay. Did she used to tell him off when he was on the Earth plane?
I don't know, to be honest.
she's wagging her finger at him, so I don't know what's going on there. But you know, I'm just going to leave that one with you and see if. Right. Okay. I can see a lot of fish. Who? Why am I seeing fish? Is this fishing, or is there a fish tank in your house, or why fish?
There's a fish tank in my house.
Okay, that's what they're showing me then. That's what they're showing me. Okay. Right, now, this has all come from Spirit, so let's do the cards now. And if he carries on giving me information, I'll pass that on to you. Okay. Right. Has there been somebody either jealous around you or envious around you about something?
Yes.
Okay, because this is the deception and envy card, all right. And I feel that you're coming through this, but you're coming through this really slowly, but you're still very much hurting inside with this.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is ask, like I say, your dad and your grandmother are around you really strong, helping you with this. And, oh my God, she's hitting him over the head with her handbag now. I don't know why. Why would she do that? This is really bizarre. Okay. she's trying to tell us something. I feel that okay, it's not right. Is this to do with another person?
Yeah.
Right. Because I feel that it's them. What she's doing is she's showing me the action of hitting your dad around the head, but it's not actually him that she's doing that to. She wants to do that to the person that's been hurting you. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do, yes.
It's like she just wants to go and hit him over the head with her handbag. That's what she's doing. Bless her. So she's really, and so much love around you, from the both of them, but particularly grandmother. She just wants to come and sort of throw her arms around you and tell you that everything's going to be all right. She's going to send you a bird. There's going to be a bird, a robin that's going to come quite close. You'll know that she's sent that to you. When you see the robin, you know that there's going to be some news coming in and that things are going to start getting a lot better. Okay.
Yes.
You need balance in your life. So if you can try and go, have you ever had a Reiki treatment at all?
I haven't, no.
Right. Try and, if you can, go for a Reiki treatment because basically your chakras aren't balanced at the moment, and if you go for a Reiki treatment, they'll balance your chakras, but you've got so much emotion inside you that needs to be released. So basically, there's only so much that you can keep inside that needs to come out. So the Reiki treatment will help, but it will help to heal you on all the levels. It'll help to heal you on an emotional level and on a spiritual level and a physical level as well. Okay.
Okay.
Plus, it's so nice and relaxed. The beautiful universal energies. It's so relaxed, and you'll love that. So that's the balance part of it. You are being asked to stand your ground, though. And if you feel that you can't always say what you mean in the right way, then ask your spirit guide and the angels to help so that you are that you're assertive and you're saying things in the right way, with the right tone of voice and using the right words within the conversation. Okay. There's a celebration coming in. You're going to be rejoicing in celebration, so either a birthday or another form of celebration. If it's something that you're not aware of now, then obviously this is a little bit further down the line, but there will be celebration coming in, and it will be really, it will be lovely. And also, once everything gets sorted out, there is light along your path. It is coming in. As I say, you do feel it's coming in rather slowly, but there will be fulfillment of wishes coming in. And you will end up with the right type of people around you that are around you for the right reasons. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope that's been all right for you.
It's been lovely, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay then, John.
Okay.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks,
John. Bye now.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, Alison, I do have Neil on the line. I don't know whether you'll be able to hear him or not. Can you say something, Neil?
Hello, Alison.
That might be a bit low, I'm not sure. Can you hear him at all? Oh, hang on. Hang on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
We got cut off, didn't we?
Right, can you hear him? I've got Neil on the line. Can you actually hear him? Can you say something, Neil?
Hello, Alison.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Right, this is the one to do with the question.
Okay.
So, can you ask your question again, Neil?
Yeah, I'm walking into something pretty big tomorrow morning, and I just thought if you had any thoughts, it was just a quick one-off, really.
Right, okay. What I can do is I can do your cards, see what comes up in them, and then if Spirit want to give us something on top of that, then that's fine. But like I said to Suzanne before, I did on the list that I've got, where is it now? I'm just seeing if there's anything else it might be. That whatever this is that you're going into, you've got a lot riding on this. And at the moment, that's all that's on your mind. You can't think of anything else. So you are being asked to relax with this and, just go with the flow, basically. So it's one of those, isn't it? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, then there's going to be something else coming in. So we'll see if they give us anything as we carry on. But if I do your cards, we'll see if that gives us anything. You see, I I could do the pendulum, but you've got to be really specific with it, and it only gives a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit dubious about that, because obviously you're not sitting in front of me.
Okay.
If you were sitting in front of me, or you see, it's a lot different doing readings via Skype or over the radio or over the telephone, because when I do my one-on-one readings, I'm holding an item that belongs to that person that's got their energies on, that I link in with, and spirit give me the messages from that. So, I could do with you sitting across the table from me and, having that conversation. Bear in mind, I can't see you either, which doesn't help really, but, we'll manage it. Okay.
Can I just say, Alison, that I am actually a medium, so we have spoke before a couple of weeks ago.
I know who you are. You were in the studio with Suzanne, weren't you?
That's right, yeah.
Oh my God, yes, because I had something new coming in for you, didn't I?
You did.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, were you aware of that at the time?
This has come completely out of the blue, so I'm a bit sort of bit stuck with it.
Right. And do you know what? Do you know, the thing is, everybody who's listening, sorry, what's your name? Neil. And I do remember, specifically remember you in the studio with Suzanne. The thing with us, when we're mediums, everybody thinks that we will know all the answers for ourselves. But
Exactly.
we can advise everybody else and help everybody else, but sometimes we just generally can't see the wood for the trees for ourselves.
Yeah.
And basically,
where I am right now.
Yeah. I don't have a negative feeling around it. That's what I'm going to say. So if you're happy for me to do the cards, and then if Spirit give me anything else on top of this.
Yeah, that's fine.
I tell you what though, Neil, because I can. Why am I getting a number? Why am I seeing a number 10 on a door?
Not sure.
I think it's got something to do with tomorrow.
Okay.
So it might not be that the 10 is actually physically on the door, but the number 10 is going to be significant in some way regarding this.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, I'm going to shuffle these, and I'm going to pick a couple of cards for you and see what they say. All right. And I'm going to say something that's going to really do your head in now. What's your gut telling you? What's your gut feeling telling you?
What's my gut feeling telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've already made my mind up.
Yeah.
And I am going through with what I'm doing tomorrow morning.
Yeah. You want to know, so you basically want to know if you're doing the right thing, is that it?
Yes.
Right, okay. I think you've answered your own question. I think a lot of the time is when we do something new, it's a little bit not scary, but we get a bit apprehensive because it's easier staying in our own comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes you think, oh, it's better the devil you know, I'll stay where I am. But I feel that it's going to work out because Spirit wouldn't have put you in that position if you weren't meant to be there. Do you understand why I'm saying that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I do. I feel positive about it, Neil.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know what the 10 is that's going to be in in there somewhere.
Okay.
But it's going to be significant in some way. But anyway, I'm just going to do these for you and see what comes up.
Okay, thank you.
This is great, this is.
It's a bit like doctors, isn't it? They don't treat themselves, they go to another doctor, don't they?
Okay. Right, okay. There's a few things going on, and I mean with you as well, but with what we do, they're saying, there's too much work going on and you're trying to be in so many places at once and everything.
Yeah.
And in the past there have been, stress related issues, but as I say, this is in the past and doing the past, present and future card. And there have been a few fears around, but the fear itself might be because of tomorrow, because we're always frightened of the unknown, aren't we? Because we can't see sort of, what's going to happen. But there is a saying, isn't there, that not to try and look at what the end result's going to be. Just go with the flow, and things do tend to work out. But like I say, I do feel positive around this. So also they're asking you to have the wisdom to accept help from others. And this thing that you're going into, is it self-employment or is it paid work?
It's employment.
It's employment, as in you're going to be working for someone else?
Yes.
And up to now, have you been self-employed? Because there's something about self-employment here. Have you been self-employed in the past?
I have, yes.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about, because it's sort of uncertain self-employment. So we're obviously still in the past with this. And basically, they're asking you to defend your beliefs and decisions, to stand your ground, and wishes coming true. So the concerns that you've got around you will soon fade away. And a lot of it is the not knowing what's going to happen, the wondering and worrying about what's going to happen. And when tomorrow comes, I think you'll find that things will slot quite nicely into place and you'll be absolutely fine.
Right, okay.
So, basically, okay, and we also have Archangel Michael, who's the leader of the Archangels, saying that it's a time of positive change and a situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side.
Well, that's good. About time.
So there you are. So, that's, I have a good feeling about it, to be honest.
Well, I do now as well.
Will you keep in touch with me and let me know how you get on?
I certainly will, Alison. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Cheers, Neil. I'll give you a ring back in a bit.
Yeah, thanks very much for that, Alison.
He said thank you, Alison.
Oh, it's very welcome.
Right. So, Alison, what did you have predictions?
Oh my God, they're all like really like a sporadic. There's some really weird things here, but I do know that they mean something to somebody either listening in or one of you lot there.
Okay, go
on. Girl guides. So I don't know if this is somebody's child that's joined the girl guides or somebody that's a girl guide leader.
Okay.
April the 10th being significant. Okay. And Longestine, which always reminds me of France. When you go to all the fish restaurants and everything, the big long shrimps.
Yeah.
Longestine. So some of these might be things that people have had conversations about. Something that's I've already given that to this lady. The storm in a teacup. So something that somebody's worrying about, where really it's a storm in a teacup. They don't really need to be worrying about it at all. It really doesn't matter. And I've got the name Alice around that as well. So if somebody's listening in, if that means something to them. Somebody who's been hurt really badly and they're being told that the tables are now turning. So basically, karma's going to come and bite somebody on the bum.
Oh, thank you. That'll be for me.
Right. Okay.
I hope. Somebody
Okay.
tried to get karma to come to my door, but unfortunately it knocked on the wrong one, so I've sent it back.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Do you do the mirrors, Suzanne?
Pardon?
Do you do the mirrors? When you do your grounding in your white light,
yeah.
Do you ever do mirrors?
No.
Basically, just when you do your grounding, do your white light as normal. I always put like a cloak on over that as well, and I have to do all this when I'm doing readings and going into haunted properties and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you feel that somebody's sending you, either psychic attack or whatever, because that's effectively what it is.
Right.
Just imagine yourself being surrounded by mirrors, but the outside, you're actually looking at the back of the mirror. So in other words, the mirror part is the bit that is facing out. So if somebody sends something your way that's negative, then it'll rebound and bounce back to where it came from.
Right. Okay.
It's really good ones. If you do that a few times, you'll notice the difference.
Yeah, I will do.
It definitely helps. A big slobbery dog, like a slavering dog, I could see as well, but really daft dog, you know. So I don't know if they've shown me this dog, whether this dog is now in the spirit world and they're letting the person know that, you know, that they're okay. There's a bride-to-be that's listening in, and her mum's in the spirit world, and the girls waited a long time for this and wanted a mum to be there at the wedding.
Yeah.
But mum in spirit is saying that she's happy and she will be there. She will be there in spirit. She'll be around her, and she'll have some confirmation as well that she's there. So she's asking her not to be sad. And I've got the names Betty and Samantha that link in, and either William or Billy linking in as well.
Okay.
So, you know, a few things there, you know, that I do feel will... And the name Jennifer linking in with somebody as well. Jennifer.
Right. Okie dokie.
Eh?
Okay. Well, it's not been too bad tonight, has it? We've had a few readers. Or readings. So it's been good. So once they get, as we say, once they get to know that you're going to be doing this every so often, we'll get a few more in, hopefully, you know. So what's happening with Alison now? What have you got any events coming up?
Yeah, I've got a few events coming up. I'm doing one at the weekend. We're doing a psychic night in Biley, which is near Blackpool.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm the guest there, so we'll be doing, you know, mediumship work, you know, in front of an audience. Got a mind, body and spirit fair coming up in July as well.
Where's that?
That one is in Knutsford. So
Right.
are you going to try and come along to that one?
Is that Rosemary Douglas?
Yeah.
I'll try and get there this time. It's not too far away, is it?
Yeah,
remind me. Send me the dates and remind me. And...
Yeah, we're on holiday in June, so I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to Spain, so I feel like I need a break now. But I'll tell you what was brilliant about tonight was Nick with the little...
with the leprechaun. You're not going to forget that, are you? Yeah, go on. Oh, are you on?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Alison, just wanted to say a big thank you for the reading. It's a really nice compliment to the stuff to go in the documentary. So thank you very much for that, and thanks for sharing your perspectives on that. So, like I say, I maintain my skepticism, but some very uncanny things there I think that were picked up on. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Suzanne.
Also, John's asked me to tell you that the celebration coming up is Vicky's birthday, which is my sister, in 2 weeks. So there you go. John said. Oh, sorry. John said, forgetting about the other mic. John said that the celebration coming up is actually his wife's birthday, my sister, in a couple of weeks' time. So, you know.
Okay.
So there's that one as well. All right, my love.
Information. Thank you.
We'll work out another date to see you in about 6 to 8 weeks' time. Okay. And enjoy yourself.
Right.
Take care, my darling.
Thank you.
It's all right. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Now we've got to try and disconnect.
Yeah, you're still there.
I'll let you disconnect, all right? I'll let you do it.
Okay. I'll try.
Oh, yeah, I've got it now. Good night.
Bye, Alison. Good night. Thank you.
Technology doesn't bode with me. So there you have it. We've had some readings tonight. So we'll get Alison back on again, and you too can have a reading via Skype. Now I've worked out how to do it.
That was quite smooth, actually. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
So what do you think to your night on KTPF show?
Well, it was fantastic, and I've got to say, I think the first thing was really good fun, and I know Oz, if he gets his mic, I'm sure he'll agree with that. So a big thank you to you two, obviously, as ever. But I think a big thanks to your audience as well, and it was interesting, some really good debate there. And I'd like to actually say a particular thank you to Andy, because I think it is, I think strong debate's really good, so I would appreciate his perspective and even his criticism. But I hope that he will watch the documentary when it's completed.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will convince him that there are takes on this that can be serious as well as interesting as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said earlier that he's really into myth and mystery, and that, so he enjoyed all the gin thing as well.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
I
you could
enjoyed
have us
all
back
that.
sometime and we could carry this conversation on.
Why not? Why not?
We're
But
always-
there's the diary. We can sort
I could
something out.
always spare an evening.
Yeah, why not? You can come along a couple of weeks' time, tell us more about the gin, and tell us the update on the documentary.
Well, I tell you, it has been exceptional fun tonight.
Yeah, it has been really good fun. Yeah, really good fun. I enjoyed the reading as well from Alison, definitely.
Yeah, and it was quite uncanny.
Yeah, I've got to say, uncanny. I'll definitely give it uncanny. I know you.
Because I hadn't spoken to her about
Yeah,
the
no,
reading.
yeah.
I didn't want to tell her to influence
Yeah.
it or make her feel a bit,
Yeah,
as
of
if she
course.
was being tested or whatever. But as I say, I picked up on a wedding somewhere along
Yeah,
the
you
line.
did.
A celebration on that respect.
Leaving stuff behind.
Yeah, she did the
But
same
yeah,
thing.
no.
Gut feelings
Yeah,
as
so
well.
I'll
What happened there?
I will definitely. I think uncanny is definitely a fair evaluation of the
Yeah.
two readings side by
Yeah,
side.
definitely.
Would you agree, Oz?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, what do you feel, like I said to you, how do you feel about the concept of Skype and a personal one-to-one? What do you feel the difference is? I was going to ask you.
I think from what we can see, the conclusions were similar between the two readings. But I think, I talked about before about kind of it being a little bit affecting, it being quite a powerful experience. So I think the one-on-one would be, Alison's reading was fantastic. But I think that's definitely my preference. As a newcomer and a skeptic, I think to sit down in that kind of environment and have someone talk to you about, your history and your present and potentially your future, that's quite interesting to have that experience. So I think, very different experiences, but both interesting and valuable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and Andy's put something up there. He said one possibility is that the info comes from a collective unconsciousness.
Yeah, very possibly. I think the way I approach it is that all of this kind of comes from collective experience. We talked a little bit before about how the same kind of things people experience them and influence people in similar ways. But it was really interesting and some quite uncanny things, especially the leprechaun. I'll give you that one. That was quite strange.
Quite a funny story, that was. Oh my god.
Misha was doing his nut on it.
Yeah, he was. He was there with me in Dublin. But just before we finish, we can do a little plug for Livestock.
Yes, definitely.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so actually, I'll let Osman do that because he'll probably get the addresses more right than I will.
I can try. I can try. So, Livestock Productions can be found at www.livestock.com.
So I must just mention that's because we've got a cheap server, so that's
No. You see, we're shameless when it comes to this kind of thing. We'll
They are so non-profit, it's unbelievable.
If there's any accusations that we're kind of corporate tricksters, then just look, we've got a .com website, so I think that's proof.
I think we're actually anti-profit.
Yeah.
Anti-profit.
Or you can follow us on
Neil says bloody stupid.
If only he knew. If only he knew how shameful we really were.
But also, you can catch us at Livestock Product on Twitter. And we just sometimes drop pictures from the stuff we film with these guys, and that's where all the info will be up. And I should say as well, we will be having a premiere of this documentary in mid-July, just in Stalybridge in Tameside, hopefully at the Labour Club there. And we want to get together a group of people. So if anyone listening tonight would like to come and be part of the audience, then contact Sue and Steve, and they can pass on the details. But from us, a big a big shout out and thanks. I think I met. But yeah, at Livestock Production, www.livestock.com.
And is there anybody else you want to say hello to before you go?
Oh, well, I think the person that I'd like to say hello to is, I have to say, from the reading, my friend Tom is in London at the minute. He's got an interview to be a clinical psychologist, a smart guy. So that's Tom, and that was the name picked up on by Alison, and his interview is tomorrow. So I think good luck to him, and shout out everyone who's listening, all the guys. So thank you for that.
I want to say a big shout out to Oz's mum and dad.
Yeah, shout out to them.
I just want to say hello to Carlo.
Whoever he is.
I'll tell you what, he's been rooting for you all night.
He has been rooting for me. It's nice to have a bit of fun.
It's interesting. But Carlos, if you're out there at Livestock Product on the Twitter, we'll be looking out for you.
Yeah. Before we go on, you guys have started this on the shoestring. You're borrowing and everything you can to get it going.
Certainly.
Is this, for the want of a better way of putting it, is this more a student project, or is it something you would really like to do in the future? Is it a possible career for you guys?
Well, neither of us are students, so it's not.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. So it's not a student project. Definitely not. I think it's very strongly an amateur project. So I said before, that's why it's been so nice to be on the radio show tonight.
Yeah.
Because although you're not quite doing it on the shoes, you've got some good equipment here. I wish we had similar with a camera. But no. But it's this. I think this kind of idea, like grassroots movements and people doing a bit of DIY work, I think that's such like a refreshing antidote to to all of the mainstream things, whatever that might be, any kind of media or anything. I just think it's nice that people are doing things for themselves. So, in answer to your question, Steve, I don't know about career. Like, I think that'd be looking far too far in the future. I'll leave that to the mediums. But it's something that we're serious about, though. Very serious about. What I was saying.
I'll just add to that it's also a kind of experiment in creativity.
Yeah.
We're both kind of writers, or at least we fancy ourselves as writers.
Yeah, fancy ourselves.
And we're both fairly creative, or at least we fancy ourselves as fairly creative.
You know what they say, everybody's got a book in them.
Yeah. And in most cases, that's where it should remain. Yeah. In most cases. But we hope that's not the case here.
But no, so I think it's a really serious project for us, and I think more than anything, when it's finished, it'll be a document, as it is a documentary of a group of people's beliefs and experiences. And I think importantly, let's face it, we all come from an area, Tameside or Greater Manchester, where I think often doesn't receive as much attention as it should do. No. There are interesting people there with interesting beliefs, and I hope, as well as it'll document your guys' experiences and beliefs, it'll show a little bit, kind of the colour and diversity in the area. I hope so, anyway.
I mean, unfortunately, especially from a national point of view, they only seem to hear about the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there are a lot of gangs and different sections out there that do cause trouble, mainly within themselves, I must admit. But that tends to get highlighted, not just here, but wherever you go.
Well, I'm a socialist, Steve, so I think that all these people that get negative attention are influenced by factors beyond their control. But I think meeting you guys has shown that, normal people like ourselves, normal people can do something really interesting. I think this radio shows testament to that tonight, that people, if they've got strong beliefs and strong interests, can put together something really interesting and distribute information and really kind of change people's opinions and thinking.
Definitely.
So we're really privileged to kind of be part of that.
Yeah,
it's nice to have you.
I mean, just one point. We don't want to change your mind. We just want to make you think about it.
And you know what? That's been, I think, the most fascinating things, because for Oz and I making this documentary, like, we thought we'd come and meet a group of people who were hell bent on convincing us that the paranormal or ghosts were really true, but instead we've encountered a group of people who are really professional and just want to give people the experience and let them make up their own mind, and I think that's something that's really valuable.
Yeah, I think this has been one of the kind of one of the nicer outcomes of meeting you. Not that there have been not as nice outcomes of meeting, but I think what has been lovely. Well, I think what has been lovely is to see how kind of open you are to the idea of being questioned and questioning, and how kind of reserved you are when it comes to judgment, and how thorough you are when it comes to kind of testing and experiment, and that has been quite refreshing. And that really has been the kind of side to this which I didn't expect to see. I thought I'd come in and you'd have your guards up, and it would be like, who are you to come here with your camera and ask us these questions, and we know what we believe, you feel a student. But no, it hasn't been like that. It's been, I think, whenever you engage a dialogue with people, whenever you get into a conversation, it can only ever lead to a good thing.
Yeah. And another thing I think has been really refreshing, Osman's completely right. I think another thing that's really refreshing is we've met a group of people that are happy to kind of have a bit of a laugh about themselves and poke fun. And I think what you acknowledge, I think this is really important. It goes back to this idea of, why we're here. Are we poking fun? Are we trying to, how can you possibly poke fun at a group of people who know that to the majority of people out there, what they do is unusual. It is a little bit funny.
Yeah, we get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you're ghost hunters."
Yeah, but you guys know that, and that's and your approach is to
every time I go around the shop around the corner, you go,
exactly. So I think all you can do then really is portray the seriousness that underlies that. So that like I've kept on stressing, that's really what we're here for. And those two things, I think, that me and Osman were expecting have been really, really interesting and something we
the
didn't
bones
expect.
behind Paranormal Events.
Yeah, well, quite.
Yeah, I mean, one little side point to what you said about information. I think the moment you try and force a belief on somebody, that's when you start having problems.
Yeah.
If all you have to do is make people think, they either believe or they don't.
And can I just add as well that forcing a belief on somebody never really works.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It might last for about 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years even. but it never really works.
It never sticks, does it?
No. Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you again, guys, for A, for picking us, B, for doing what you're doing, and wishing you all the best of luck in the future.
And I hope you got some good shots.
And I'm glad you enjoyed the show tonight.
Thank you very much. Remember, at Livestock Product on the Twitter. One last plug, but thank you guys.
I can't moan at them for plugging, can I? Well, guys, let me just let you know what is
coming soon.
Yeah, next week. If you are into paranormal programs, we have a young man coming on the show via Skype by the name of Brian J. Cano. He is from America, and he's on the program called Haunted Collector, and he'll be talking to us about what he's been doing, what he's up to, and everything. Okay, and I'm going to pass this over to his nibs so he can you type your link in there for me, please? So he's on next week. We've also got John Blackburn coming over to us in the hub from Mysteria Paranormal. So he's going to be with us next week, and he doesn't watch paranormal programs.
No, haven't we spoken to John before?
We haven't.
We haven't.
No, he's never been on the show before.
I could have sworn we spoke to somebody from Mysteria at one point.
No, we haven't. He was going to be on the show, but we was waiting for a date.
Ah, right.
And the week after that, we have Richard Holland from Uncanny UK. Used to be the editor of Paranormal Magazine. So please join us next week. Don't forget, we are at the Boundary Hotel tomorrow night, restaurant, if you want to call it, in Aldenshaw, in the Manchester area, not far from Guide Bridge.
Yeah,
we'll be there from 8 o'clock for our paranormal social night.
And just for those in the area that don't know, the place is under new management. It's been cleaned up. It's a really nice place, and they do really lovely food.
Yes, they do.
And they serve until 9 o'clock.
I might even have a meal.
Yes.
So, Andy says he's part of Mysteria as well. We will be having Andy on soon sometime. I've got to make a date with him to talk about one of his topics. So,
where you been, Nettie?
She did pop in and out, I must admit.
I missed her.
So hopefully we'll see Nettie tomorrow night. She did say on Facebook she was popping in. So hopefully we'll see her as well. So until next time, all that's left to say is...
One very last thing.
Oh God, he wants to say one more thing.
I have to say this.
Livestock Productions.
No. This is until next time, guys. Keep the paranormal friendly.
He's gonna beat us to it
every Wednesday night. This is where it's at.
Yeah, definitely. So don't forget, we'll see you all next week at 8 p.m. And until next time, you can say it with us now. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Keep the paranormal friendly. Good night and God bless everyone.
Good night.
And now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Be honest. Right now, you probably want to lose some weight, live a healthier, more active lifestyle, or get in better shape. We're here to challenge you. Challenge you to make your health a priority with the new Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge.
My favorite thing about the challenge was just losing the weight. Got my life back, that's it.
I come home now, go out and play in the yard with the kids, go to the gym, take the kids to the gym, and starting to live life finally.
Now we've gone from being couch potatoes to being, fit athletes, working out, strength training every single day. It's changed our whole lifestyle, the way that we look at our day.
Let's be real. You don't have to look far to see we have a problem, a growing problem. With today's work demands and faster-paced lifestyle driving us toward quick fixes, it's no secret how we got here. And if you're like most who have searched for a solution, you've only found more frustration. Instead of forcing you to adapt your lifestyle to fit a program, the Body by Vi Challenge adopted our program to fit your lifestyle. Finally, something that's simple, affordable, fun, tastes amazing, and most importantly, it works. The Body by Vi Challenge is the solution you've been searching for. The challenge is the world's #1 90-day platform for weight loss and fitness results. To date, over 500 million ViSalus shakes have been served to millions of people who have already lost millions of pounds, making the challenge the fastest growing weight loss and fitness movement in the world today. Powered by a line of innovative wellness products from ViSalus, The Body by Bite Challenge is the perfect way to start a lasting health transformation. First, you set a goal. Then, select a kit and enter to win. It's that easy. And in a minute, you'll learn how you can even get your kit for free. Let's talk about your goal. If you were to set a 90-day health goal right now, what would it be? Lose some weight? Shed some inches? Run a 5K? Build some muscle? Whatever it is, it all starts with you going public with your challenge goal. Then, you'll select one of 5 challenge kits designed to help you accomplish your goal. The centerpiece of each kit is the V-shaped shake. With a scientifically proven formula, thousands of healthy and delicious ways to mix it up, the V-shake is easy, affordable, and tastes amazing. And since it's a healthy meal replacement, the challenge can actually save you money on your eating out and grocery bills.
Challenge kits are so simple, convenient, easy for a person to take, and it gives them all the nutrients they need to keep their body functioning at the peak performance level.
You can have even more fun and nearly triple your chance of success when you do it with others. That's why ViSalus created the 3 for Free program. That helps you get your kit for free when you refer 3 others to take the challenge with you. Last year, over 400,000 free kits were awarded to people on the challenge. Do you want your kit for free?
The 3 for Free program just allows anybody, no matter what circumstances they are, to get their product for free and get healthy at the same time.
I absolutely love the idea that we can get our products for free if we just ask 3 people.
And new in 2013, it gets even better. Having helped millions find success, we're so confident that we've added a new 90-day money-back results guarantee. Save money. Get it for free. Money-back guarantee. You've got absolutely nothing to lose, but wait. Need more reasons? How about 47 million more? Last year alone, we gave away over $47 million worth of free product, prizes, and vacations for people on the challenge. And now with the new Body by Bite Challenge, there are even more ways to win, with bigger weekly, monthly, and grand prizes. After studying millions of challenge transformations, we believe that the secret to your success lies in losing the first 10 pounds. That's why we've launched Project 10, where every week in 2013, we're awarding a total of $10,000 to 10 people who lose 10 pounds. Just document your challenge and submit for a chance to be one of 5 men and women selected every week to win $1,000 in cash. What would you do with an extra $1,000? Plus, since everyone who loses on the challenge really wins, lose 10 pounds and rock your free I Lost It t-shirt. How soon will you be saying, I lost it? Every month, those judged to have the best 90-day weight loss, active, and fitness results win and are named Body by Bite Challenge finalists. Feel like a celebrity with your professional photo shoot at ViGear Shopping Spree to show off your success and move on to the finals for a chance at being the next Body by Bite champion. 3 times a year, ViSalus celebrates the most inspiring 90-day weight loss, active, and fitness transformations by crowning our new Body by Bite champions.
Absolutely amazing. We want this for everybody, so commit, submit, you never know. You fill that thing out and you can win. This is amazing. Our lives are going to change.
Experience the Vi Life when the red carpet is rolled out for all champions on the ultimate transformation vacation. And while it's great to be treated like an A-lister just for transforming your health, let's not forget the $5,000 Beverly Hills wardrobe shopping spree. You could be the next Body by Bite champion.
It's been just amazing, getting picked up by a private driver and the goodie bags and the schedule and the feeding and the dresses. It's just been amazing.
It's exciting to know that when you set that goal, as long as you challenge yourself, you're going to get there.
And by simply selecting a kit, you have access to all the resources you need to succeed. Take the challenge, and you'll realize it's not just about what you have to lose, but what you have to gain. So, set your goal, select your kit, enter to win. Talk to the person who showed you this video to learn more or to be invited to a challenge party near you. There is no better time than now to start making your health a priority. So why not start losing weight, getting fit, saving money, and having fun, guaranteed. Are you up for the new Body by Vi challenge?
The one phone call that I made to try to join the challenge to lose weight has changed every aspect of our life.